iconic drift tracks in the world. It's been on the FD roster since 2004 and only one of 2 tracks since day one. The stage is set with ideal conditions to crown a champion. Welcome back to the House of Drift. It is lit, literally, because it's the Type S title fight. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. It's on the track, it's surrounding the outside zones, and it's underneath the cars. We are back here. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me once again is Ryan Sage, our girl on the ground, our pit reporter, Lorette Nickel, giving us all the heat on the street and down on her feet. If you missed it earlier, here are a few highlights, Ryan. Again, notably, Frederick Osbo out in 32, but what did we see earlier?
Yeah, disappointing day for Frederick Osbo, and it was really a culmination of a lot of different things that happened since Friday. Ryan Tuerck still in the mix, got a bye in the round of 32, but it's really gonna be a possibility of him going up against Chelsea Denofa, where things are going to turn, facing the attention to that guy right there, Vaughn Gittin Jr., your current series leader, 524 points after securing that spot in the top 16. Here's a look back at Oswald. This is how it all went down. He had not driven on the course since Friday night and did not get practice this morning because of the engine problems. We saw the Gittin team looking on. They congratulated Frederick Oswald for an awesome season, paid some real strong amends to him on everything that transpired. But now it's all down to business as Vaughn Gittin Jr. and the rest of the field are going to be doing battle here tonight.
And notably, again, Papadakis Racing working hard. You know, Tuerck going to the wall on Friday. He admitted error, he admitted fault, but then celebratory burnouts by Osbo caused them to pop the engine, and then they got a new engine in last night. Well, this morning they went to go run. It had rod knock, so they had to swap the engine twice within 2 hours, basically, or 24 hours collectively, pulling one in, putting one in, pulling one out, putting back in, and then that happened. Like Ryan Lontaine said, all the data was from most recently Friday night when he won the event. Very different scenario, different platform here than we're at from the day earlier today and going into tonight. It's going to make for a wild event. We saw a little bit of it from Pro 2.
Yeah, we did, and we know that the drivers really enjoy getting the practice time in the 2 different conditions that they deal with, the daytime conditions and the nighttime conditions. But when we saw Frederick Osbo up on top of the grandstands earlier this afternoon, we knew that there was some very troubling news that could potentially coming down the pipe. Obviously, the car was back and working, but he just really didn't get an opportunity to shake down the vehicle in these conditions since the last time he was on the track was Friday night, as you said.
All right, before we jump into our top 16 introduction, this is the United States Air Force opening ceremony. Today marks the first step of military service in the United States Air Force, so pay attention to the screens for the oath of enlistment.
I'm Major General Ed Thomas, Commander of the Air Force Recruiting Service, and I'm proud to join each of you today to deliver the oath of enlistment to the members of our Air Force Delayed Entry Program. These young Americans are our future leaders, innovators, and warriors, and I'm proud of each of their decisions to join the United States Air Force, the greatest Air Force in the world. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kevin Landon.
I, Emily Hall.
I, Nicholas Bruce Grigsby.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
According to the regulations.
According to the regulations.
And the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
And the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you all, and aim high.
Thank you so much again to those young men and women and listening to the United States Air Force. If you would, please stand and remove your hats as we have our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the rampant we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets recollect the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, send us that star-spangled banner yet wave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's send it here at the House of Drift. But first, let's introduce you to our top 16 drivers here, round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. This is the Type S title fight. A title is up for grabs. We'll find out tonight who is our 2020 Formula Drift champion. Let's introduce you to our drivers. Our first car parked with a no-fan event, and again, a hush falls over the crowd. But you're watching from the comfort of your own home. Kicking things off from the Pacific Northwest, he's piloting Old Red in the GT Radial S13. It is Travis Reeder. Another driver from the Pacific Northwest. These guys saw competition the other day, good friends, but now here they are on track. Oh man, here we go. And that gum out, Rain-X, O'Reilly Auto Parts, BMW. It is Dylan the Dozer Hughes. All right. Three-time Formula Drift champion. He's in a borrowed car. Still got NOS running through the veins. He's got Nexon on the corners. This man has never driven anything that doesn't have a Nissan power plant until now, but it's still a Nissan chassis. Let's fly that flag. Make some noise for the NOS Energy Drink pilot. That is Chris the Force Forsberg. Moving down the line, you can see the Intimidator. The gargoyles are off, the lights are on, and there's that Comp Cam's Achilles tire shrouded Cadillac ATS-V from Georgia. It is Taylor Full Pull Hole. Let's get some teal and blue in our diet. Originally from Michigan, now here in Southern California. He's on that hotline. Here he is in top 16, piling the Falcon Tires Roush Performance Ford Mustang. It is JTP, Justin Pawlak. Moving right along, again, there is some more teal and blue. He is piling the Falcon Tires Field Suspension S15. It is Odie Bakchis. 2020 has been one heck of a year for this gentleman, as his team and them are going to dab on the competition here in that Doc Edelbrock GT Radial 370Z. It is Jeff Jones. Coming to us from North Carolina. He's about to stand on that throttle. Here we go in that ISR Performance. Nexon Tire S14. It is Jonathan Nerren. Next up, from right down the road in Riverside, the 909, the 951, whatever you want to call it, that Power Stop Brakes GT Radial 350Z. It's about to get lit Ryan Litteral. Another former champ up in the mix. We saw him second place Friday night. Can he get back up there once again in his FCP Euro Liquid Moly Achilles tire BMW? It is Michael Essa. He won here last year. He didn't have the best luck Friday night. Can he do it again here in Irwindale? In that Rowdy Energy Toyota Racing Toyota GR Supra on Achilles tires, it is the OG Ken Gushi. Coming into this round of competition from Friday night and continuing here into Sunday, second place in points. Piloting the brand new to him, Gum Out Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla hatchback. He's on some Nitto tires. It is the rock star Ryan Tuerck. Got a couple more Mustangs for your diet. Piling that BC Racing Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Say howdy, get rowdy. It is Chelsea Denofa. Your current points leader, back-to-back winner in Seattle. The battle in Seattle, he conquered the Monroe Monster. Speaking of Monster, he pilots that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Going for a championship here tonight. Gittin Jr. Always a crowd favorite. The fade, I don't know if it exists on the scooter down there, but we'll see if we get the S15 up here on the starting grid. Make some noise for the Njuku Racing, Achilles Tire, BC Racing, S15. Right now, you got a scooter. It is Adam LZ. Another driver absent his vehicle right now. We'll see if he can get it together. Coming to us from Japan, another GT radial shrouded vehicle, up garage scooter. There it is, Kazuya Taguchi. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is the final round of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. I'm Jared Deenda, my co-host Ryan Sage, Laurent Nickel on the ground. Our three judges, Chris Yule, Brian Egger, and Ryan Lantain, and all our Formula Drift staff are excited to send it here at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, the House of Drift. Let's go on, get Coco Nut and a little date roll action as we are going to throw down here in our top 16. Ryan, exciting event about to unfold.
Exciting is an understatement, and it's weird and eerie not being able to have fans here because of all things COVID-19 and all the restrictions,
right.
But still there is a lot of tension in the air by the championship that's been building up, and we've been, here on site, and it's been weird not to have fans. But at
eerie was the word that I keep thinking of.
Yeah, totally. But at the same time, the drivers have been able to kind of see past that and really give us a tremendous show. And I'm super proud of how far everybody has made it, especially doing these double headers. We know that attrition was potentially going to be an issue for some drivers, and we have seen that. There's no question about it. But as we get into the holiday season and we see all these lights here, there is a certain atmosphere that is very enjoyable, and I'm really excited to see whether or not we're going to crown Ryan Tuerck as a champion for the first time, or if we're going to see history be made again by Gittin Jr. becoming one of only 4 drivers to have multiple championships.
Yeah, and Vaughn hasn't been a champion since 2010. It's been 10 years. You heard, James Dean say, hey, I think Vaughn deserves it. James Dean not here this year, 17, 18, and 19, triple back-to-back-to-back winner of the Formula Drift Championship. He said, go for it. Even Osbo, when he lost, he went over and said, hey, Vaughn, this is yours. Go get it. So before we go on to the head-to-head, let's go and throw to our Air Force interview. It's about that time. It's Aim High Air Force time. We got Technical Sergeant Lindsay here in recruiting. And where are you originally from, Technical Sergeant?
I'm originally from Pompano Beach, Florida. That's near Miami.
Nice. And why did you join the Air Force?
Well, my primary reason for joining the Air Force was for the educational benefits and the travel opportunities.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how long have you been in?
12 years now. December will make it 12 years.
That's awesome. Congratulations. And I'm sure you've gained a wealth of knowledge prior to entering into the Air Force.
Yes, sir. I have.
And what other roles have you played? Because now you're in recruiting, right? What other positions have you had within the United States Air Force?
Well, I've started out as an operations manager where I basically did maintenance, did facility maintenance repair. I supported the logistics for that. And I did production control and all that. So that was my primary job. And then I got the opportunity to become a recruiter.
So what do you tell young men and women that come in about, just wanting to get in the United States Air Force, just overall?
Oh, I tell them it's a great stepping stone. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of benefits that it has to offer. So depending on what situation you have, just try it out. You know what I mean? If you're interested, just go for it.
That's great. I like it. You could apply that to anything, but obviously, being in the United States Air Force. All right. Are you a car guy? And what's your favorite thing about Formula Drift? Are you excited because it's a closed door event, but I believe we might sneak you in?
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm excited. My favorite part about the Formula Drift is like the actual competition with the lead car and the chase car. So I'm excited to see that. Solid. Again, we're practicing social distancing, wearing masks, but I think you're a VIP, so we'll get you in. But man, thank you so much. Thank you once again. And where can people find more information about recruiting into the United States Air Force? For more information about the United States Air Force, go to airforce.com.
It's easy as that. Thank you so much, sir. And send it.
Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, if you spend $45 on Royal Purple products, like I just did for my oil change, Royal Purple will send you $10 back. Here's how easy it is. Head to your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up any combination of Royal Purple products that get you to $45. Also good at O'Reilly.com. Make sure you take your receipt, snap a photo of it, then go to RoyalPurplePromos.com and simply upload your receipt image. It's so easy. Then all you have to do is go to the mailbox and find your $10 rebate check.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Air Force, Aim High. Type S, official lighting sponsor of Formula Drift. Lights, camera, power, fun. And GT Radial, experience the performance. Yes, sir. Yes, ladies, gentlemen, again, children of all ages, we are going to send it here under the lights. You can see the podium there right in the hot pit area. These are just the mobile hot pit areas so they can quickly get to their vehicles. Ryan, I'm just looking overall at some of the battles. Ryan Tuerck versus Nerren. Nerren, he says he's going to bring it, but Ryan Tuerck looking very settled. The car even looks more comfortable and looks more settled than it did on Friday. And I would just attribute that, and talking to a spotter, Biddies, he says, you know what, sometimes you just got to get out of the way. Hit the wall, get it over with, and then go for it.
Well, we've spent a lot of time talking about the championship, and that's obviously well-deserved, but there are a lot of battles in here where I think there are some drivers, even veterans, that are trying to assert themselves as has a way of thinking about where are they going to be in 21.
Right.
You know, are they going to make a run for it, try to break into that top 10? Who are going to be the guys that we're going to be talking about next year? Obviously, we spent some time talking to James Dean. There's always a question about whether or not he's going to make it back in 21. And how people finish this year, I think, is very relevant to how 21 sets up. So there's not only the championship on the line and the Rookie of the Year, but it's also top 16 standings and everything else that's important for these guys as they go into the offseason fighting for every one of those positions.
Yeah, you know, just as you said, just the doubleheader. We talk, you know, no qualifying, the doubleheader weekends, and every other weekend that we've had a doubleheader for the pros, you know, in the Pro 4, we've kind of just put Pro 2 and then Pro. Now, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was a better scenario for us to play out the way it did here in Irwindale with Pro round on Friday, Pro 2 Saturday, and now Pro on Sunday. I think that setup it really complements these drivers having to work harder or not.
For those that have to do it twice, absolutely, yeah.
All right, before we, you can see Ryan Tuerck in the burnout box. Let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette, what's up?
Dylan Hughes, you just told me tonight is going to be wild. What are your expectations?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think there's going to be a little bit of carnage, but I mean, that goes with every single Formula D event, I think. So that's to be expected, especially the last one. Everybody's going to be pushing super hard tonight. Like, we have the entire offseason to rebuild our cars, so it's checkers or wreckers, lay it all on the track. So the aggression is going to start going up as the battles start going down. So should be sweet.
Good luck in your battle against Taylor Hull. Dylan, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lorette, and I like that, that the tension's going to go higher as the battles go down. It's a great line there, Dylan. Here's the Air Force Aim High Trivia. You can find the question in the description of the Formula Drift YouTube live stream. Go and click it, and here's the question. What flight pattern was studied for the aerodynamics of an Air Force I assume 117, F-117 Nighthawk? So is it the Eagle, the Butterfly, Cardinal, or the Bumblebee? Again, what flight pattern was studied for the aerodynamic of an Air Force F-117 Nighthawk? Eagle, Butterfly, Cardinal, or Bumblebee? Here we are in the Royal Purple, top 16. Royal Purple, woo-wee, the synthetic experts, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. I got to say, I didn't ask Ryan this question. I bet he's kind of relieved that just right out of the gate, let's just get to it.
Yeah.
Versus just waiting, right?
I think so. And, you know, let's just state the obvious. If Ryan Tuerck loses here, Von Gittin Jr. is your champion.
There it is.
You know, that is what's at stake here, and Nerren has an opportunity to play spoiler, but it's a long night ahead of us. Let's get this battle underway and see where it goes.
Yeah, a long night indeed. RAM, a virtual fan zone. Where are you going? Where are my RT411 fans, or who's pulling for Captain Clutch Kick? Ryan Tuerck going for his first championship, but again, a long road ahead. Even if he wins here, he'd have to go 8-4 and get the win.
And also, are there any of those remnant nerves from the last time he was on the track at this time of night?
Yeah, that's right. You brought that up earlier because he did have his bye run, hasn't gone against anybody, and the last time he drove was Friday night when he went into the wall. Oh boy, yeah, the plot thickens for him. And Jonathan Nerren as well. I mean, you know, we saw him on Friday night as well. And yeah, I mean, this is Formula Drift. This is Irwindale. That's why, you know, it's so important in the drifting history and the whole drift DNA and the growth of the sport. Here we are 17 years later. A champion is always crowned here, usually about a month prior to this particular date, but 2020, Irwindale. Am I right? Here we go. Let's set it here. Ryan Tuerck going and doing battle with Jonathan Nerren. He gets the clean air first. Now come out, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla hatchback. Here we go. Ryan Tuerck, let's see how he handles the bank. Again, point of no return. He throws it in high on the bank. He had a good bye run. Nerren dropping down a little bit lower here. Now let's see how he handles coming down in that first inside front flip. Both of them on it. A quick little transition into that inner bank. Nerren taking a shallower line. Ryan Tuerck getting out to the Christmas tree lights. Now into that front clip. Dialed, eyes are on the prize. Gum out, gum in, and there, ooh-wee. Flirt with those candlestick cones there, Ryan, but it looks like he barely would have glanced them, if at all.
If you're a fan of Ryan Tuerck, if you're rooting for him to win this championship, that's a pretty good way to start it.
Yeah.
It's a mid-high line on the bank, not overly risky. Nerren gets up here, does a pretty good job of keeping proximity with him on the bank. Now through that inside clip transition, notice how Tuerck really did not slow down, and that's what the judges want to see, but he didn't get as deep as he should have in outside zone 2. However, Nerren kind of went a little bit shallow, and then that pushed him long, leaving outside zone 2. Much better on outside zone 3. He did drop a tire there, but remember, the judge is basically saying, let's not hit those cylindrical red cones. Now, it's not a 0 if they hit them, but they want you to treat that as a wall, just like if you're putting your bumper into the wall. Go way off. I think we've seen 1-0 this weekend for all 4 tires going off in that area, but you really want to make sure that you eye up that area as best as you possibly can, because it is the only part of the course that doesn't have a wall.
Jonathan Nerren will lead that ISR performance. S14, Ryan Tuerck giving chase. Look at this. Nerren gapping Ryan Tuerck, but this might be strategy. I think he's maybe got a little confidence here, but you can't give that much room to Nerren. He might run away with it, and then you got to think, catching up here on the inner bank. We've seen some collisions there before, but oh, look at that. Ryan Tuerck ducking into formation. Oh, we got contact. Oh, boy. Ryan. Some contact in the chase position, Nerren and Tuerck. That was not a decel area. The decel area is after that outside zone, and Ryan, I could see you wanting to pull up that decel map. So contact between Tuerck and Nerren.
Well, there is a decel zone there after outside zone.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
outside zone 2 before the inside clip. So that is a decel zone. But what we're going to be looking at here is the forward momentum of Nerren and Tuerck. Now, I can't stress enough that the championship turns on this. So Ryan Tuerck gave a big gap there to Nerren, and what the worry is that if you are trying to catch up and you carry more speed than you usually would in your chase run, that you're going to end up hitting the guy in front of you. Now, Nerren, that's a decel zone there. Now he should be back on throttle. And as soon as the zone ends, right there, there's a decel zone. So it's gonna come up, and I want to say, I keep saying decel zone, it's their momentum zones, and it's basically for the chase driver to understand where the lead driver should have a change in momentum.
Oh, look at that. So Nerren actually threw it. Oh, there's the truth be told cam, man. Watch Nerren. I'd like to go back to that drone as well. And I'm only kind of stressing this, and I mean, we're going to overanalyze this just because the championship is on the line. And Ryan, you said it right out of the gate. If Ryan Tuerck loses here, Gittin Jr. is your 2020 Formula Drift Pro Champion. Let's take a look. We did see some flames shooting out from underneath Nerren's vehicle. That's why our fire crew is over there. But that overhead view, we saw Nerren in that, like you called it, the momentum zone. I like that even better than decel. And in that momentum area, it looked like he did throw a little bit more angle at the vehicle as he exited out of that outside zone, approaching the inside clip. Watch this.
So what we're looking for here, and let's remember, in the momentum zones, the judges laid those down based off telemetry data from where these drivers are making adjustments, and they're either going down in speed or they're getting ready to transition to the other part of a course. So it's going to start right there and probably end about right there, and then that's where the contact, actually it's a collision, technically speaking, because the run stopped, and that's the main differentiating factor between a collision and contact in our rule book. A collision is, where the run will stop, and contact is something that the run keeps going. But either way, because this is the second run, the whole entire battle is going to turn on this situation here, because being that it's a collision, somebody's got an incomplete.
So here's it looked like, I mean, it's Tuerck's job. I don't think he helped himself at all as far as giving himself that gap and then closing it, throughout the entirety of the course. But my observation, it does look like Nerren hangs out there a little long on the patio, if I may, and then he throws a little more angle at it to maybe beeline towards that inside clip. Again, just it didn't seem right what happened there.
Well, what we saw last night in Pro 2 is we saw a situation where a driver did something that seemed outside the norm of a decel zone or momentum zone area, and it actually went against him. However, that's going to be what the judges are going to have to ascertain here. Now, it doesn't help Tuerck's case that he was really giving too much of a gap to Nerren, because that kind of implies that he's trying to catch up. And if he was doing it strategically, that's fine, because maybe he knew he had more grip in the car, that he could catch up and keep that proximity. It looked like that he was zeroing in on that. Here it is from the big bank. You see that gap being established. Now this is, could be...
Watch the smoke signal as well.
Implied here as, okay, now I'm going to catch him, I'm going to stay on him. And he does pretty much that. He's starting to get door to door here. You see the smoke line from Nerren. It's going to lift right there. You see it start dissipating. So it's really just going to be the judges' interpretation of whether or not that momentum zone was used appropriately by Nerren, and whether or not Tuerck was in the right there to be chasing him down with that kind of confidence.
And there we are looking in the RTR pit. There's Vaughn Gittin Jr. and his guys. Again, what's your guys' thoughts at home? What are you guys thinking? Again, I have no crowd here yelling, booing, cheering, slamming, dancing, whatever they got to do. Vaughn's looking on. There's our AEM virtual fan zone. As you can see, how I just realized it's a turkey with the Tuerck head. Here we go. So okay, okay, real quick. Hold on, real quick. My Jonathan Nerren gets the win. Wow. Jonathan Nerren gets the win, and that means Vaughn Gittin Jr. is your 2020 Formula Drift Pro Champion. And unbelievable turn of events here. We'll go to the judges here. Vaughn doesn't know yet, and there it is. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is your 2020 Formula Drift Pro Champion. Congratulations to the RTR team. Vaughn and his team haven't done this in 10 years, and now the championship is his. Having an almost 2-year-old next month, been married for multiple years. I know now he's just shooting for the win. Ryan, going to throw it over to you. Ryan Lontaine, it was unanimous going the way of Nerren.
Looked at the replay over and over again. We brought up the decel map. Nerren did his decel exactly where the decel is, or on the momentum map. It did initially look like it was a little bit abrupt maybe, but looking at the Skycam, he got some angle into the car to get it slowed down, and it just looked like Tuerck didn't react to that slowdown. I don't know where Tuerck was looking in that situation. He just kept going. We'd expected him to maybe slow down and adapt to what Nerren was doing. It's not that Tuerck was trying to catch up. He was already within proximity, but for some reason he just didn't react to the slowdown until it was too late.
All right, Lorette, let's throw it down to you. Are you with the 2020 FD champ?
Vaughn Gittin Jr., you are the 2020 Formula Drift champion. Honestly,
Yeah! Woo!
the mark of a true champion is on the days where he's battling gremlins, on the losses. But Vaughn, you never gave up. Talk about the heart that this team has.
It's, I hate to sound like a broken record. I mean, these guys are just unbelievable, and they choose to be here. They want to be here. They live this passion. They want to win. They want to be the best. They want our car to be the best. They want me to be the best person I can be, and it's just I'm so better with them by my side, and it's just phenomenal. The things that we've overcome. It's been a wild year. All things we don't have to say them, but. No fans, the energy here is just very different, and it's, I'm lost for words for the first time in my life. I'm just very proud and grateful, and thank you to everybody, all of our partners, all the fans, everyone that has been supporting Formula D. It took a lot for Formula D to make this season happen this year, and this sport is stronger than anything, and I think that us running this year is a testament to that. I'm just so proud and grateful to be a part of it. This championship has been eluding me for the last 10 years and my team, and we've assembled one amazing group of people, and we earned it this year. I certainly would have really enjoyed a battle with Tuerck in the finals just to go for it, but to be honest, my dream tonight is to meet Chelsea in the finals and complete a battle, because we haven't done it all year together, and I'm just so proud of him. And what he's accomplished, in our team, what he's brought to our team. And yeah, just grateful is the word. Gunner's here, Abby's here, and it's just been so amazing to be with them between rounds and just keeping the vibes and the love high. And much love to all you guys. Thank you all so much for all the messages, all the DMs throughout every weekend. And we're not done. We got a long night, and our goal is to get on that top step tonight. I'm having too much fun driving out here at Irwindale. I've got a sigh of relief, but I'm ready to go party. So stay tuned, everybody. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Formula Drift champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Back to you, Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette. And there you go again, RTR, ready to RTP, you're ready to party. But as you said, a long night and wants to better that. That's the next stop on that fun haver train.
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit anticlimactic because we would have loved to see the battle for the championship go deeper into the night. But this is, as Vaughn said, the sport of drifting is super unpredictable. You know, Ryan Tuerck according to the judges, and I think they are right, just made a mistake, a critical mistake, and you can't do that when the championship is on the line. And that handed the victory to Vaughn, who over the past few rounds has been extremely consistent. He had those 2 wins that really solidified where he was putting himself in terms of championship points, and so it's a well-deserved championship for him, making it number 2 and putting him on a short list of legends in the sport.
Well, as the RTR, like I said, party continues, Denofa and Essa, and that's what Vaughn was talking about. He'd love to see Vaughn and himself and Chelsea in the finals, and that could potentially happen, but a lot of battles need to be partaken in. So Chelsea Denofa warming up his Nitto tires in that burnout box. We have a champion, but we do not have a podium here in Irwindale. Oh man, you got to feel for Ryan Tuerck there. Frustration, but definitely needs to hold his head high. Again, unofficially, will he land in second place is the question, Ryan.
Well, let's remember, you know, Tuerck led this championship for a majority of the rounds.
Right.
It wasn't until recently that Vaughn in Texas overtook Ryan Tuerck, and so now he's trying to hold on to that number 2 spot. He's got 484 points right now. The next closest driver is Chelsea Denofa, who with a Final 4 finish could potentially get very close. Let me just do the math real quick. Yeah, he could actually, he's going to need a 3rd place or better to get into 2nd place and overtake Ryan Tuerck. So he could definitely move down a position as well if Chelsea Denofa goes on a run here tonight.
All right, so Tuerck is watching impatiently or patiently regardless. There are the stats. Chelsea Denofa, Michael Essa, and Denofa piloting his BC Racing Ford Mustang. Michael Essa, FCP Euro, Liqui Moly, Achilles Tire BMW. And Chelsea will lead as Michael Essa gives chase. You can see the Type S lights underneath the vehicle and surrounding the track. Putting up the Christmas decorations a little early. What's that?
I was just looking at the map. If Denofa wins here, he will move into 3rd place over Osbo.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, because Osbo is out, and also consider that Forsberg is still in contention of the top 3 finish as well. Chelsea Denofa going in. Michael Essa chasing him down. Denofa with some amazing angle there. Essa does have the proximity now, but can he mimic the angle? He is ripping into that inside bank. Oh, look at that. There's the bumper budget. Goes up one more bumper into that front clip. So much smoke being kicked out of the back of that Ford Mustang. Michael Essa can barely be seen. Wow.
High-risk maneuver there on inside clip 1 by Michael Essa, and it looked like he pulled it off and was going to be able to get right in the pocket there with Chelsea Denofa on outside zone 2. But Denofa does a great job starting off. Mid-high line on the bank, then moving up very high. Good job by Michael Essa right there. Watch this transition. Right on the back bumper to Chelsea Denofa. Now here I really thought he was going to start attacking, but he ended up getting on a lower line coming into outside zone number 2. Makes a little bit of a correction there. Denofa taps the wall, but he keeps angle in the wheel, so that's a great save by Denofa. Good job on inside clip 1. Here comes Essa, one more surge to outside zone 3, and Denofa rides that white line all the way through the finish line with Michael Essa playing catch up there. So let's switch things up as Michael Essa will now jump to the lead, and Chelsea Denofa trying to get into 3rd place with the win here to overtake Frederick Osbo in the chase position.
Remember, these guys are both on the podium Friday night. You know, we had 2nd and 3rd, both these guys behind Frederick Osbo, and that wall did not even affect Denofa. That was crazy.
Collapsible bumpers, baby.
Yep, bumper budget going up. Here we go, the second half of this battle, getting everything back up and clear. And we are clear to send. Thumbs up from the drivers. And Matt Sopa turning on the lights. As soon as they extinguish, it's go time. And there we go. Michael Essa will lead. Chelsea Denofa giving chase. Essa initiates. Look at Denofa. Not giving him an inch. Oh man, Michael Essa, great angle. A little lower on the bank there in that lead position, coming now into that inner bank. I know Essa, or excuse me, wow, look at that. Denofa bringing the heat around that front clip, and a wide swing by Essa does save it, brings it back in that final outside zone.
Well, I think the one major thing that was missing there from Michael Essa was something similar to Chelsea on the big bank. He did a great job on the inner bank, had a nice transition, was a little bit late into outside zone 3. The problem here for Michael Essa is that Denofa really stuck with him in the chase position by doing stuff like that. I mean, that is incredible. Right there, right next to his door with that front right wheel, transitions back around. Good job by Essa, just a little bit low on that inside clip. Now Essa really does a tremendous job here on the inner bank. Look at that, beautiful, right up against the wall. But again, not being able to shake Chelsea Denofa. Little bit of an adjustment here by Denofa to set up this last turn. Is massive angle there from Michael Essa on the transition around. Denofa does a good job braking there to avoid any contact. And once again, Essa looks great in this outside zone 3. But you just have to assume that because both roles, both responsibilities were done very well by Chelsea Denofa, that it's going to be really hard for the judges not to give him the win here. He just performed very strongly in both the lead and the chase roles.
Yeah, after a great performance from both those guys Friday night, I'm sure they're thinking it's unfortunate that we met tonight. They both had the vehicles that obviously could conquer Irwindale, but you got to conquer the other driver, and there it is. Chelsea Denofa gets the win and goes on and advances past Michael Essa. Denofa gets the win unanimously. He will be going against Jonathan Nerren in the Great 8. Pulling up to the line, we got Taylor Hull versus Dylan Hughes. Lorette Nickel talking to Dylan Hughes just a little bit ago, talking about the battle that is going to ensue. And he says, yeah, once these guys throw down, the nerves go up. Taylor Hull, definitely from 3 years ago, debuting this car to now a fierce competitor. Like where he's at, seems like he's having fun with it and really adopting, you know, the Intimidator essence, the spirit of old Dale Earnhardt. And there it is, Taylor Hull, Dylan Hughes. Those are the numbers, those are the stats. Fairly equally matched, two very different cars. You know, we got the Cadillac ATS-V. Dylan Hughes has the 2J, the Toyota engine under the hood of his BMW. Taylor Hull with the Intimidator livery on that Comp Cam's Achilles tire vehicle. And then Dylan Hughes, he's also on Achilles tire. He's rocking that Gum Out 75th anniversary livery. Gum Out has been sporting vehicles and all the way back to World War II. As the Gum Out Rain-X O'Reilly Auto Parts BMW on Achilles tires, ready to throw down against Taylor Hull. And here we go, Taylor Hull, Dylan Hughes. In another run, already in, Nerren and Denofa.
That was not good.
Yeah, that got a little wonky there, Ryan. As Dylan, so Taylor Hull nice on the bank, Dylan Hughes middle of the bank. Now let's see how they handle this transition past that front clip into that mid bank. Dylan applying the pressure, almost rubbing Achilles. Yeah, they are going into each other. Dylan Hughes throwing it into the side of that Cadillac ATS-V. All right, let's take a look at this. Yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of commenting on that start. We throw it down to the starter to see what's transpired. Ryan, what caught your eye?
Well, it looks like Dylan was trying to get out of the gate early. It looks like he may have mistimed the light. I mean, if we roll it back, we'll be able to see because the light is well illuminated. And we are hearing that it was a clean start. Obviously, the other key part of the battle is really what it's going to be probably the other shot looking at the start line. But let's take a look at this run real quick. As you see that Dylan Hughes at this point is trying to play catch up here. Apparently not getting that good start out of the gate. And look at Taylor Hull. I mean, how consistent has this guy been?
Yeah.
Just absolutely killing it on the big bank. Dylan now in the mix here, leaving the big bank and getting into this second bank with a lot of proximity up against Hull, rubbing right there. And then Hull goes off throttle. as they start making contact. So another fun one for the judges.
Yeah.
Now remember, we just saw an example of the decel zone being used, which starts right there. And then that's where we see the contact. So here's the start. Let's take a look at it. Watch right down here. There you go, 1. Now, when the light goes off, that's when the lead driver can leave. So basically, I actually think Taylor Hull did not get out of the gate. What will happen here is, did he get out of the gate within the beat that's allotted?
What comes into play here is you want to leave within a reasonable amount of time, because if you just buffer and wait, you're kind of icing, right? Like in football, you kind of ice the kicker, right?
Yeah.
So if you ice your competitor, that's nerves, and traditionally, okay, lights extinguished, you go. If you basically kind of ice the other driver, that's not good sportsmanship. I don't know if that's the case here. I think that's just what's coming into consideration.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Basically, what the starter allows before he'll call a restart on the lead driver is he gives him a beat to go by the time it is extinguished. So if he says it's a clean start, then it will basically go down as a clean start. But let's take a look at it one more time and see if it went past that beat.
Yeah, here's the real-time shot from the start. Ready. Again, all of them. And once they extinguish, you want the lead driver to go. So 1, 2,
Boom,
3,
beat.
4.
See, so Dylan went off a little tiny bit early, and it was like boom, beat.
But he can leave early. That's the whole thing.
You're
saying he's trying to anticipate it.
He's trying to anticipate. He can leave whenever he wants,
that's what
right?
I'm saying. He can.
So, but what he's trying to do is get the best timing against when Hull leaves, right? And if Hull is either going to leave right when the light goes off, or he's going to utilize that beat, right? So if he utilizes that beat, it's going to be a little bit extra time for.
What do the rules specify as far as the beat? 5 seconds?
No. The beat is basically a beat, like the word beat. The word beat, yeah.
Okay.
1/1002. Yeah.
Not 2 if they're not gone. Drone again, please.
All right, they're really analyzing this, and I can't recall that.
We just need the contact. I don't know if they can isolate it.
And now they're looking into the contact to see what's going on there. And this is all for dictating fault.
Dictating fault, yeah, and just to make sure that we're completely clear on the start light, our race control here said basically the beat is just as we explained there. It's a 1/1000, and then they need to go. So, I don't know if that's being spoken about between the judges and the starter, or whether or not they've shifted their focus now to the contact. Let's take a look at the contact and see what happens here. Hughes is closing with a lot of pressure here. And the decel zone starts right there, and then we see contact happen, or collision happen, since the run stopped. So we are going to have to ascertain fault. We are in between runs, so it's not going to have any finality, at least right now.
Yeah, so as Dylan waits, here it is. Here's the drone shot.
Decel zone. Momentum zone.
Oh man, this second outside zone is causing a lot of frustration here, and the judges elaborating. All right, so
and it really hasn't historically, right? It's basically just been the last
these
two
two
battles.
runs. Well, you could say the first run and the third run. So, all right. Well, as they're trying to figure it out and deduce what happened, let's throw it down to Lorette and Denofa.
Chelsea Denofa is down here, so excited in the zone, and you want to open this up so bad, but you said you have to get to the final first.
Yeah, absolutely. The car's been running great all night, and we're taking it all the way for sure. Essa was a great battle. We were super close. I was right there where I needed to be, had patience where I needed, and we're going to keep doing that tonight. I mean, the car can take it, and we're going to keep elevating that as we go.
The bash bar just got cut out. Why did that happen?
I got into the wall pretty good, chasing Essa and leading Essa. My lead one was pretty good and smashed the bumper. Goes to our bumper budget. I think we're on like the 4th or 5th one this weekend. So, these double headers really take a toll on spare parts and whatnot. But the team's got it cut off, new one, fab it up, and tossed on there. We'll be ready to go.
Chelsea, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette. Thank you, Chelsea Denofa. You'll be going against Jonathan Nerren in that grade 8.
Yeah, I was just talking to race control there, Jared. The start line issue is a non-issue at all.
Okay.
Basically, they say that was pretty standard for the lead driver to leave at that time. He made it, so now they've basically shifted their attention to focusing on the matter at hand, which is the collision that happened after outside zone number 2.
All right. So here it is again. This is that's the first bank. Now coming into that front clip, into the inner bank. Now, like we said on that first battle of Nerren and Tuerck. Oh boy.
So, like what I like to do here on these, just as trying to get into the judge's mind, is looking at the smoke line. Like, what evidence do I have? And it looked like Taylor was still smoking it up pretty good there, and Dylan was at a rate of closing that put him in a little bit of a compromising issue. Now, that the judges may not see it that way. Remember that the decel zone starts just past that outside zone.
All right, the AEM virtual fan zone tuning in here. They're saying one more time.
Oh, we still have the other half of the battle.
I know. Well, we do have the second half of the battle, so even if you want to go one more time, we will be seeing that. But we have fans from all over watching, including the Watts family. Jasper and James Watts, what's going on? Thanks for watching and tuning in.
One more time.
Well, they will go one more time because it's the second half of the battle, so that's guaranteed. All right, as we are waiting to find out from the judges what happened. There is Taylor and Dylan still waiting.
Joe, I'm still disappointed in Cone Man. I'm still disappointed in Cone Man from yesterday.
Yeah, dude, where is Cone Man?
Yeah, where is Cone Man? He got the band hammer. Let's just say something.
Yeah, Ryan Lontaine, gonna open up your mic here real quick and talk with you. You and the judges are discussing. Contact was made. We saw this with the Nerren Tuerck battle. What's up?
Yeah, we're looking at where the contact was made, what led to the contact, and it's the decel zone is just after the end of outside zone 3, and this happens right in that area. But we were looking at outside zone 2, and we were looking at where the problem started, let's say, and it's unfortunate that this happened right in kind of the area where we wouldn't want to see it happen. We wanted to see did Taylor Hull slow down where he wasn't supposed to slow down, but it looks like he's doing it in the right area. Although he did come off of outside zone 2 early, the contact occurs right at the beginning of the decel zone on the momentum map. So it's just something we wanted to make sure that we were making the right call of.
All right, so who is at fault here again? Just to clarify, you're saying
Dylan. We all agreed that Dylan was at fault for not adapting to the lead car's decel, which is done in an area where the decel should be happening.
All right, so just a lot going on here. Just watching, Dylan Hughes and his team work on the car, seeing what's going on there. That front right, you could see damage. So and Dylan will need to take that NGK competition timeout. So unfortunately for him, that's one and done. If he needs to use one later, if he even advances on. But with that run coming to a halt, and with him being at fault, he is at a deficit. Travis Reeder, his good buddy, coming over there and seeing what's going on. But our NGK competition timeout is called. So in addition to providing spark plugs for domestic and import vehicles, NGK produces spark plugs for motorcycle, power sports, marine, and outdoor power equipment. NGK also offers complimentary ignition product lines, including ignition coils, resistor caps, spark plug wires, and high-performance cables. For reliable performance, trust NGK, the ignition specialist. Visit ngksparkplugs.com to learn how NGK is redefining the category with high ignitability technology through its ruthenium HX spark plugs. We'll take a break, see what happens when we come back.
The quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Brid.
What is power and control? Power is the sprint. Control is the hurdle. Power is the flame. Control is the perfect steak. Power is turbulence. Control is containment. Power is the ignition. Control is the sensor. NGK and NTK. Power under control.
We're here for the perfectionists, the champions of doing things right. Whether they're in the shop or in the driveway, they trust O'Reilly Auto Parts, because good enough won't cut it here. For over 50 years, we've been helping perfectionists get exactly what they want and exactly what they need without compromise, turning that problem into a problem solved. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
The Falcon Azenis FK510 tire is engineered for today's high-performance vehicles. Built with added tread rigidity for precise handling and an advanced rubber compound that inspires confidence, rain or shine. Get more out of your sports coupe or sedan with the Azenis FK510.
All right, we are back here, and again, just conversing with the judges, seeing what's going on here, and you know what? It's Irwindale. Crazy things happen here. This venue brings out just some exciting runs, Ryan.
Yeah, and let's recap where we're at. We see that Jeff Jones is at the line now. New bit of information and news coming in. Kazuya Taguchi's vehicle has been pulled from competition because it has been deemed unsafe. He was not able to make those repairs and get it out in a competitive condition to do battle against a fellow competitor. So we're seeing Jeff Jones get a bye here. We will go back and revisit the second half of Dylan Hughes versus Taylor Hull. Dylan Hughes right now charged with fault on the collision. I know that some of the judges had some reservations about giving the call in that direction, but needing to be consistent with the rules that they said. That was a momentum zone area where the collision happened. So it will put Dylan Hughes at a big deficit, and we will start plugging in a few of these holes for the Great 8.
All right, says there you see Jeff Jones finishing up his run. He will go against, as you said, Ryan, either Taylor Hull or Dylan Hughes. And Nerren and Denofa already in the Great 8. Almost halfway completed with our Royal Purple Top 16. Royal Purple, this Synthetic Experts, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. That who's already solidified into that Royal Purple. Again, that Great 8, Nerren and Denofa. Then you got Jones waiting for Hull or Hughes. You can see the right side of the bracket. Forsberg in that borrowed car going against Odie. Gittin Jr. going against Ryan Litteral. And then, of course, you got Reader, JTP, and then LZ and Gushi. Here's the second half of this battle, Ryan. As you said, Hughes with a deficit. And there's the stats once again. So we saw that contact. Dylan Hughes called his competition timeout. Seemed like that front right corner, getting underneath it. Maybe an arm broken. We'll see. See if it's able to run. Ken Gumout celebrating 75 years. O'Reilly Auto Parts, Rain-X. I have a feeling Dylan Hughes is really going to throw down here. Just get fired up. And Taylor Hull chasing him down. Crazier things have happened, man. I mean, even with that contact and Dylan Hughes at fault, he's going to throw down a serious run. What is Taylor Hull going to do? How's he going to track him down? All right, here we go, off the bank, into that front clip. Massive angle there from Dylan Hughes, past that transition and inside clip. Dylan Hughes all the way to outside zone. Taylor Hull taking a shallower line. Dylan using all of the course. Now into that final outside zone goes Dylan Hughes. Oh, and really exceeding. I think Dylan had a really good line up until that point. There's some, you know, it looks like we got fire and we got rain. Little James Taylor for you there. Fire, Rain-X, and now it's extinguished. Man, Sopa's been a busy man with that extinguisher here in Irwindale this weekend.
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of that exact circumstance. And to the call at hand, nothing there that Taylor Hull did looked like an incomplete to me. So unfortunately for some of the drivers tonight, these mistakes in outside zone 2, that was big angle there from Dylan. Massive angle.
Look at this whammo.
Almost completely sideways. Actually held up the momentum pretty well, but Taylor Hull was not really in proximity, so that did not become a factor. Hull is, playing it relatively safe here. He's doing a good strategic move to do the right things to find his way into the grade 8. And Hughes pushes a little bit too hard right there.
Yeah.
Almost sending 4 tires off course. Wow. And then for good measure, lighting up the car towards the end. But this should be an easy call for the judges after the fault was given to Dylan Hughes. Here we go.
Slide him left for Taylor Hull, right for Dylan Hughes, and there it is. Taylor, full pull Hull, advances on Taylor Hull and Jeff Jones. And Lorette Nickel is with Jonathan Nerren.
Thank you so much, Jared. Jonathan Nerren, your battle against Ryan Tuerck, you took out a championship contender. Do you feel like maybe you were underestimated?
100% going into it. Tuerck is, he's a big dog and his car is fast. And I really think he just underestimated me going into his chase run. On my follow, I knew what I needed to do chasing him, and it was really just drive all out. And that was what I needed to do. I knew his line, what he's going to do. I knew how I needed to chase him. On my lead, I just needed to lay it out as hard as I could from the whole weekend. My spotter, everybody said that was the best run I laid out from this weekend. But it was one of those things. On run up, I didn't know this, but I was put too much gap on him. And I think he just really underestimated me. I'm an underdog. It's my first time running. I'm a rookie. He's got an amazing car, amazing team, and we just showed out.
Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you,
guys.
Thank you. There it goes. John, smile on his face says it all. It's a crazy experience for and an adventure for a Formula Drift rookie to come into this and. Continue on. So now Nerren goes against Denofa in the grade 8s. But right now it's Chris Forsberg, Odie Bakchis. Forsberg, we've seen him do well here at Irwindale, as has Odie. Now let's see how they fare. As Forsberg will lead in that NOS Energy Drink S14. Odie Bakchis giving chase in another Nissan with an LS under the hood, supercharged. And here we go, Forsberg coming to that big bank, initiates, high on the bank. Here comes Odie right there to the side of him. Look at that, Odie nearing the angle. Let's see how the transition goes. That front clip, a quick, snappy one. Now into the inner bank for Forsberg. Big angle, cannot shake Odie. Wherever Forsberg goes, Odie is right there. Now coming around to that final outside zone. Getting all the way out to those pylons, but like I said earlier, analogously speaking, looks like he blew out the flame but didn't knock over the candlestick. Very close, but didn't knock him over.
Well, we wanted to find out how Chris was going to be able to perform in this vehicle with such little practice. And he looks pretty good overall, but Odie Bakchis is a beast. And this car, I believe it won Irwindale a few years back with Matt Field. So it's definitely got the ability, but can Chris pull it off with a dangerous driver like Odie Bakchis doing that kind of stuff right here, closing the door on outside zone number 2, doing kind of the same thing he did on the bank, bringing that proximity and that duration for longer periods of time. Good transition here by Forsberg. Now it goes a little bit long. He has to hold up. He gets off the gas for a second to make that adjustment. But Odie is unfazed in the chase position. Here we go, switching things up. Odie Bakchis going to the lead as Chris Forsberg will chase him down.
Yeah, fairly equally matched vehicles here. And we talked about it earlier, Ryan, how Odie has become such a good chase driver. I think a lot of it has to do with he hasn't changed platforms in quite some time. Different chassis, yes, but still S chassis nonetheless. Here we go. Odie initiates, pulling out all the stops. Big angle there from Odie, and he's pulling away on Forsberg. Now he's going to transition here on that front clip. And into that inner bank goes Odie. Looks like Forsberg does gain some ground here. Overshooting, staying long there on the outside zone is Forsberg. About the 3rd hash mark on that inside clip. Now out to the outside zone. Odie, and look at that. Forsberg jumps inside of him. But again, just kind of back and forth. Wow. All right, the AEM Virtual Fan Zone. Where are you at? What do you guys think?
Here's some Odies in there.
Yeah, I'm seeing Odie. Is that %001? All right.
Well, Odie Bakchis gets off to a good start here. Mid-high line on the bank. Forsberg suffering a little bit of lack of proximity here. Now he's going to really get on the gas through inside clip number 1. He's going to start closing the door on Odie, who's looking for that deep outside zone line. Getting him out there near the wall. Chris is closing, a little bit of rubbing. And there makes a slight adjustment. Wow, look at that. That was incredible. Big tire mark on the pass through the driver's side door of Odie Bakchis. And then once again, another surge here from Forsberg. Big amount of angle there by Odie Bakchis and a nice backfire or two there on that last outside zone. So judges once again here in a tough position. Odie had a great lead, did pretty well in his chase, aggressive at moments. Chris as well. How did his lead run compare to Odie Bakchis?
Ryan, the big thing, talking to Forsberg, he knows he's outside of the championship contention. The big thing for him is he wanted to at least get into the top 3 to end the season. Here's our BC Racing custom coilover side by side.
Well, you can see the gap that Odie established there. He was running a pretty high line on the bank, so that's not running away. In the chase, he's doing pretty good as well. You can see he's keeping the pressure on relative to Chris in his chase. He didn't rub Chris in the same way, but he was very, very close. So a good bit of driving here by both drivers. Pretty exciting battle. And it looks like the fans are saying Odie.
Yeah, seeing a lot of Odie here for them. That's what the AEM Virtual Fan Zone is saying. But what do the 3 judges say? Slide them left for Forsberg, right for Odie. And Odie gets the win. Odie advances on into the Great 8. That is the Link ECU Great 8. Link ECU, the official management unit of Formula Drift. So Odie advances on. He'll be going against Vaughn Gittin Jr. or Ryan Litteral. As you can see, the drivers in the burnout box waiting for them, and they will exit stage left. So already in the Grade 8, Nerren against Denofa, which Lorette wrapped out with both those drivers. Taylor Hull versus Jeff Jones had that bye run, and then Odie Bakchis just defeating Chris the Force Forsberg. We'll get to the numbers and the stats as Chris hold on to a top 3 spot. I think a lot of it is dictated by where Denofa is, because Forsberg going out there, I don't think he can gain some ground. I think that they were only separated by 10 points, if I can believe, from 4th to 5th place.
Yeah, Chris right now with that exit in the top 16 is going to end his run at 428 points.
Okay, here we go. Let's before you mention where he's at. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Ryan Litteral, your 2020 FD champ. Vaughn Gittin Jr. throwing down. He says he still would like to get on top of the podium. And Ryan Litteral trying to give him a battle here in that Power Stop Brakes GT Radial Nissan 350Z. Oh, Ryan Little straightens out. Big correction from him on that second outside zone. Getting twitchy, taking out. Oh, man, he's going reckless. And Vaughn Gittin Jr. finishes out the run, but Litteral is definitely the talk, the bell of the ball right now as he takes out those cones.
Well, we've seen this happen, right? The lead driver puts a big gap on the chase. The chase has to start making up ground now. And Litteral realizes that he's got to get in the fight here. He kind of shallows up his angle into inside clip number 1 to gain some proximity on Vaughn. And he's able to do that, but he makes a sacrifice, right? Now Vaughn is going to get into outside zone 2, be pretty deep here. Now watch the front wheel. See, they were starting to chatter, and then they move out completely. Now that will be an incomplete. That was a big straight in there from Litteral, and then he goes well off course in outside zone 3. So tough break there for Ryan Litteral. He'll have another shot at it here, but with the big deficit going into his lead run.
All right, there's the F-150 trucks helping us out here this weekend. Thanks to them, as the all-new F-150 is America's best-selling full-size pickup for good reason. It delivers an unsurpassed combination of power, capability, and efficiency. The F-150 offers best-in-class payload and up to 13,800 pounds of available towing, thanks to its most advanced powertrain lineup ever, including a brand-new 3-liter Power-Stroke turbo diesel V6. Check out America's favorite truck at your local Ford dealer. All right, cleaning up the track here at Irwindale Speedway. Thank you to our staff. Ryan, you were elaborating there again between where did Forsberg end because of his competition ends?
He'll end with 32 points in this round because he finished in the top 16, which puts him at 428 points.
And where is Chelsea Denofa at, even just where he's at?
Well, Chelsea Denofa has already, he's gone into the Great 8, so he gets 48 points for this round so far. That puts him at 460.
Sorry, repeat that again. 460, and then what was
428?
Okay, so he does surpass. He does surpass.
He was already
ahead of him. Yeah, that's
just
right.
Now he's trying to see if he can track down Frederick Osbo, which he has done that as well. So Chelsea Denofa is in 3rd place right now.
There you go. All right, here we go. Ryan Litteral, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Litteral initiates. And Ryan Litteral is chased down by Vaughn Gittin Jr. Middle of the bank for that power stop brakes, 350Z. And here we come into the inner bank, exploding that front flip. Litteral throwing it all down, like he said to Lorette earlier. He says, you got to throw it down hard. He knows who he's going against. He's going against now a 2-time champ. Into that final outside zone, that quick little correction there. Trying to massage it into that outside zone as close as possible to those pylons. And there he goes. So Litteral and Gittin. And I assume the needle's going to go the way of Vaughn Gittin Jr., unfortunately for Litteral.
Yeah, Litteral, his opportunity here was to hope that there was an unforced error from Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase position, but Vaughn actually still playing it pretty aggressively, wants to make sure that he doesn't make any big mistakes, but make sure that he puts on a show for the fans and keeps the pressure on Ryan Litteral. And a lot of times with these drivers, they want to try to drive as close to the level as they're used to driving, just so it doesn't feel out of the ordinary. So Vaughn looks like he's going to get through Ryan Litteral pretty easily here with the big mistake and the incomplete by Litteral in his chase run. And that will put him into Grade 8, which will continue to stack up the final championship points.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's solidified as far as overall. Nobody could catch him. But as he said to Lorette, like to take it even higher, take it all the way to the top. So we'll make it official here. And slide him left for Vaughn Gittin Jr., right for Ryan Litteral. Ryan, it's been a great season, but it ends here. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win and advances on into the Great 8. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will be doing battle against Odie Bakchis. 2 more battles left in this Royal Purple Top 16. Royal Purple, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. Torque drift. All right, we got Travis Reeder piloting Old Red, going against JTP Justin Pawlak in that Falcon Tires Ford Mustang. So we are 3/4 of the way done with our Royal Purple Top 16. And of course we got Adam LZ after that. Adam LZ will be going against Ken Gushi. But right now, Reeder versus Pawlak. Reeder will lead. Pawlak will give chase. You know, Reeder was fighting some gremlins there on Friday. See if he's got it all worked out. Says, get out. Here we go. Reeder in that GT Radial S13. High on the bank. Pawlak a little bit lower here. Reeder absolutely throwing down. Justin Pawlak making some corrections in that chase position. Coming to that inside bank. Now looks like Pawlak is zeroed in. Past that front clip. Both of them really tight to the inside clip. Wow, look at that. Justin Pawlak barely letting them by. Knocking over some pylons. Old Red. Wow, liked what Pawlak did. And we saw that on Friday as well. Man, Pawlak's putting down some serious runs. And we saw it earlier in 32.
Well, look at this here. Travis Reeder high on the bank. Pawlak has to back off for a second. His line drops down. Big angle there from Pawlak on the transition. Look at that, Reeder way up high. Pawlak has to make that adjustment. He comes down a little bit, readjusting here to get into outside zone number 2. Let's see where Reeder goes. He enters pretty early, nice and high, but Pawlak pressure all the way through outside zone 2 into the inside clip. Now watch this switchback. That is nasty right there. Tucks up on the inside. Reeder just going off course. Oosh. And you can see right there, Pawlak having to make an adjustment to possibly not hit Reeder. Pulls a little angle out of the car there, but great second half of the run in the chase position by JTP.
Reeder very impressive on that bank.
Strong.
And then again, I really like the way Pawlak is adapting. Is not doing that snappier transition, more fluid, but definitely gaining that proximity.
Standing in agreement with you.
All right. Okay, thanks, bro. Oh, Ryan. Here we go, moving on. JTP is going to be leading Travis Reeder, giving chase. Nice job by both these gentlemen. It's going to come down to this run. And I was surprised of the height of Travis Reeder on the bank in comparison to Justin Pawlak. So I'm wondering, I would think that Travis Reeder would be outpowered by JTP. It doesn't seem the case when Reeder is out front, but there we go. So Justin Pawlak high on the bank, Reeder a little bit lower. Oh, correction there. You saw him almost glancing the nose of the S13, and Pawlak getting familiar with that wall. Reeder shallower on the outside zone, and now coming to that final outside zone as well. And Pawlak just digs it on in, that back left Falcon tire, right in that white line, Ryan.
Reeder wants this one, doesn't he? And as we go to the fans, who you guys got?
One more time.
One more time. Well, let's take a look at this run here. Travis Reeder is driving very aggressively. Notice that as soon as JTP picks his line on the big bank, Reeder locks in on it. Ooh. Got super close there, had to back off. Could have been a big mistake, but he did a good job kind of composing himself, keeping it together. Pawlak really deep into this outside zone, right up against the wall, rubs it. Reeder right there trying to tack get as close as he possibly can. Now we saw JTP maybe be a little bit closer and more aggressive in this area, but how did he do on his lead run overall? Did he do better on the big bank? Was it enough to get the job done overall as we look at the leads together and then the chases? And did somebody just outperform the other driver to make it a clear-cut win here?
What's really interesting to me is, remember when Dye won the championship, we always talk about S13s and how old that vehicle is, and that was some time ago, but still here is an S13 that's, almost 30 years old and still competitive. You don't find that in many motorsports.
No, you don't, and they've found a way to kind of aesthetically make them look really cool as well. They don't come off as old.
Right, yeah, exactly. I think that's obviously the spirit of our sport. Here's our BC Racing custom coilover side by side. Reeder leading on the left and Pawlak leading on the right.
Yeah, good look here. You can kind of see Pawlak was really pushing hard into that second outside zone. JTP on the chase, really keeping the pressure on. And there's that switch back there on the left-hand side of your screen. Beautifully done there. Reeder did go a little bit off course in his lead there on that final outside zone. So, I think the fans' intuitions actually kind of seem pretty tuned in. I've seen some one more times.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of OMTs here, but I think they want to fix. They just want to see more drifting here. I know we got fans watching from all across the globe, including all the way in Peachtree City, Georgia. My man Rutledge Wood and his daughters are watching. So thank you for watching, Rutledge and all the fans. Hashtag FDIRW. All right, waiting for the outcome here of this run. I feel like Robbie now. I'm clicking my pen over here. All right. One more battle left after this. Adam LZ and Kenshiro Gushi. Ken Gushi winning here last year, 2019, the Irwindale finale. You can see that back left corner. Justin Pawlak saying, "Yeah, yep, that's evidence. That's like a drift tattoo." Getting a mark on that back left bumper, showing you that he was dragging it. And here we go. Reeder and Pawlak slide him left for Reeder, right for Pawlak. And it looks like Chris Yule says JTP, and there it is, Justin Pawlak. Justin Pawlak gets the win one more time there from Brian Egger, but outnumbered by Chris and Ryan Lontaine. Lorette Nickel down in the pits. Lorette, you're down there with the number 64, Chris Forsberg.
Thank you, Jared. Chris Forsberg, I know that you have high expectations of yourself, but look, on Friday, from blowing a motor to getting your demo car to renting a brand new car that you've never driven before, you put in a Herculean effort this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I really got to thank the team. You know, these guys are the ones that made it happen. You know, the car broke, and that sucks. But, you know, we got the demo car out here, and it wasn't up to snuff, and we knew that, but we wanted to, you know, come out and put on a show for the fans and our partners, and bowed out in 16 to not put someone else in danger for not having a fast enough car. And then coming out today, we really wanted to hit the ground running, and, you know, Matt offered his car up, and the guys drove all the way up to San Francisco and back to get it. And very, very little seat time, but, you know, we just want to do our best to put on a show.
And I think you did. I think you should be really proud of the effort that you guys put together to try to get this weekend to happen. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Yep, thank you.
Guys, really tough moment for Chris Forsberg. Obviously, very high emotions running right now.
Yeah.
Yep. He's feeling a little defeated, but as you said, Lorette, you put it very kindly. Just all the effort that goes into it.
Everything he said there seemed really heartfelt and genuine, and you can imagine, hey guys, we need to drive up to Northern California to get me a car, to come down, to go to Buttonwillow to do some testing so we could be ready to do battle with the world's best drifters on Sunday. That sounds like fun.
Well, that's the effort that a lot of these teams put in, you know, but everybody has their perspective. That's what I always talk about at the banquet that we have every year. Perspective. I've never been down in line. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in the pits. We're wrenching on these cars till 1 in the morning. I get to show up, you know, and talk smack. And each one of these teams has their perspective.
It's the old adage of, you know, try to live a little bit of time in your fellow man's shoes and see what it's like.
Here we go. So Adam LZ, looks like we get a restart here, so it gives us an opportunity to talk about this battle. Adam LZ, who's brought in a bevy of fans, a slew of followers, and he's going against Ken Gushi, an OG. He's been competing since 04. We saw him most recently on the podium a year ago, or just there a little over a year ago, the final round at Irwindale last year. Ryan, what do you make of Adam LZ and his performance here entering into pro competition?
I think he surprised a lot of people, to be honest with you. I mean, he had a really tough draw the first round or two in St. Louis. And, you know, he was able to kind of learn from those experiences. When you draw, you know, 3-time champion Chris Forsberg, or when you draw Frederick Osbo,
Von Gittin
Jr., like, you're going to learn a lot because those opportunities in those cars don't really come about. So I think he's done a great job, and he'll secure the Rookie of the Year, but he's got to go up against a veteran right now, Ken Gushi.
That's right. Here we go. Adam LZ initiating into the bank. Ken Gushi having issues of his own, swapping out the engine. And Adam LZ mid-bank here at Irwindale as he transitioned past that front clip. Adam LZ now into the inner bank. That 2J powered S15, beautiful looking car, and of course the Supra, not too shabby either. Now coming back into that final outside zone. LZ, let's see how he manages. Brings it right near those pylons, and Ken Gushi cannot be shaken either.
Yeah, you know, I'm starting to sense a little bit of 2019 Ken Gushi at Irwindale. And I think he basically has had enough and is just really going out there and driving hard. Now, Adam left a little bit on the table, a little bit left to be desired on the big bank. And I don't think you can do that against a very hungry Ken Gushi, because in his chase run right here, he did a really great job eyeing up areas specifically where he could attack and get super close to Adam LZ, especially through this inside clip here, and not letting him get away. Great job by Gushi there. Adam LZ in his lead run, pretty solid overall, but did leave a little bit on the table for outside zone number 1. Almost hitting some of those center pylons there, but now we will switch things up. Adam's got to give a good chase here to Ken Gushi. Let's see how Gushi manages that big bank.
Yeah, it did look like LZ knocked a few of those red cones over. Also, you talk about LZ leaving the door open. I think that Gushi could have been closer on that second inner bank as well. So now let's alternate the order. Gushi will lead that Toyota GR Supra, and LZ giving chase. Let's see what Gushi's got here. Both these guys running on Achilles tires. And Ken Gushi initiates. You saw some wavering there. But look at that. He massages it up the bank, allowing LZ to gain that proximity. Now coming back past that second inside clip. into the inner bank and then outside zone. LZ right there in his business, tucking in. Oh, there it is. We saw that from, I'm trying to recall who it was, but he was right, thank you, Gittin Jr. He got blinded by the smoke, and Adam LZ, unfortunately, I was just going to say, he was just eyeballs deep in the smoke, and you're not going to be able to navigate the course like that.
Yeah, that was looking to be a really strong chase run there from Adam LZ. Let's see the moment that it transpired here. Gushi midline on the bank, then he starts working his way up. Exits at the right time, but through the smoke line is Adam LZ. Good pressure there through inside clip 1, and again on outside zone number 2. Now, the moment that it all goes awry is right here when he starts getting lost in the smoke line and he transitions and he's on the wrong side of the course. Did not stay with Gushi. You can see the front wheels kind of wash out there.
Whoa,
Bill.
Almost got that wall.
Scary situation there for LZ. Don't want to have that happen, but as you said, Jared, we have seen that before. Saw that with Gittin Jr. on Friday night. Yep. Here's a look from above. And whatever the takeaway is for Adam in his own mind, I think overall he showed a lot of high-level drifting this year that I don't think a lot of people would have expected at first glance.
Yeah.
He had the opportunity, he was going to maybe do Pro 2 again, but because of these double headers, and I think he's proved that he definitely belongs here.
Rightfully so, and I think, like you said, it really came together for him in Texas. I think Adam LZ is a talent. He's a great addition to the Formula Drift paddock, and of course, you know, we love his fans coming over here. They are very passionate about him and his whole lifestyle. But Ken Gushi gets the win and advances on into the Grade 8. Ryan, we started off kind of wonky, but here we are flowing, and I just had the announcer's curse as now here we go in the AM virtual fan zone. Oh, yeah. All right. So, again, it looks like our Link ECU Grade 8 is established. Nerren versus Denofa. Hull versus Jones. Odie versus Gittin. JTP versus Ken Gushi. So, again, we'll take a short break. When we come back, our first battle of the Link ECU Grade 8, the official engine management unit of Formula Drift.
Can I get the cast on set? Can I get the cast on set? Came with the black mask again. Throw down, go the distance like a javelin. Roll down, always take it, never ask to win. So I never drop the ball like I'm traveling. Hey, only ever fade away to make a play. Before I hit a game, I don't need a break. All these bench warmers need to stay awake. It's a home game, but they bout to fell away. Ain't nobody wanna body anybody.
In my 1,000 horsepower competition drift car, I use Royal Purple XPR 5W50. XPR is specifically formulated to increase horsepower and torque in high performance and racing engines. And its revolutionary Cinderlick additive technology and zinc phosphorus fortified formulation provides the highest level of protection against heat and wear. The new 550 is all killer, no filler. It has better high temperature performance than any other 2050 engine oil. The result is a performance oil that protects like no other, utilizing superior base oils and additives. It's what sets Royal Purple apart from the rest, and what is also transferred down to their HPS high performance street oil, which is what I run in my daily drifter. So from here to here, all you get is extreme performance from the synthetic experts. Royal Purple.
Honestly, I think the Achilles 123S is the best tire for drifting. It's just so consistent. There's so much grip.
I love being on Achilles. It is incredible. The tire is incredible.
It's the best tire that I've ever used.
tons of grip. It's just so consistent, precise, very predictable.
Having a tire that's consistent all the way through from when it's cold to when it's roasting hot is very important.
I really wouldn't want to be on any other tire.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Link ECU. Link Engine Management, the official ECU of Formula Drift. Achilles Tires, tires you can trust. And Ford.
Adam LZ was talking to his team, and Adam, I heard you say that you got lost in the smoke. Is that true?
Yeah, no, I definitely got lost real bad in that around the inner clip area. I had no idea where I was, and then I saw the LED light, and I was like, oh, I'm going into the wall.
Well, I think you should be really proud of the high level of driving that you displayed this season. What's your takeaway from 2020?
Just really driving with confidence. A lot of these guys are like some of the best drivers out there, and I think coming into it, I was very hesitant, you know, always looking out for drivers to make a mistake and just kind of second guessing things too much, where in this you just have to expect the best lead run imaginable and just almost blindly follow.
Adam, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys.
Yeah, again, there you have it, FD Rookie of the Year. I mean, he finished higher than any other rookie here at this event. Oh, actually, excuse me, I take that back. Jonathan Nerren. There it is. Nerren could continue. Oh, my gosh, I'm broken right now. Could continue on.
Are you okay?
Easy for you to say. So, as Chelsea Denofa and Jonathan Nerren, I was definitely impressed with Adam LZ all season. We talked about it earlier. But now, Denofa and Jonathan Nerren, Chelsea Denofa and the BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D going against Jonathan Nerren, the ISR S14. Here we go, Chelsea Denofa initiating the timeout. Oh, look at Nerren jumping up. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Oh, Chelsea Denofa goes higher on the bank. And we saw Chelsea Denofa again grabbing third place on Friday. Whoa, Nerren ducks into that smoke. He is all over the track right now. Nerren takes a shallower line. He goes off course. And I got to think that he just saw Denofa just have an amazing run right front and center of him.
Well, we saw the upset that Nerren was able to pull off against Ryan Tuerck, which had put a quick stop to the championship chase and gave it to Gittin Jr. Now he's got to do battle against Chelsea Denofa, who has massive angle coming off the bank. Ooh, just takes out that inside clip, but Nerren is really trying to catch up at this point, and then as he comes into outside zone number 2, he may have got lost in the smoke, comes off the line a bit too early. 1, 2, but big tires off there, big adjustment, just barely kept some angle in the front wheels, but it's gonna be a massive mistake there for Nerren, who will now have some heavy lifting to do as he will go to the lead position against Chelsea Denofa.
I think regardless of the outcome here for Nerren, would you say he's, you know, gonna be happy and content with that? With his performance here this weekend?
I don't know, you know, how he thinks about, you know, competition in general. I haven't got a chance to know him as well as I know some of the other drivers, but it is so hard to come into this series and, you know, put together a program. I have to imagine that he's going to be happy with certain aspects of it, but, you know, they also were dealing with a lot of really tough circumstances earlier on in the season, and maybe you'd like to get some of that back. And that's maybe a motivating factor for your 21 preparation.
Yeah, and I talked with him again at LS Fest, and he talked about Texas popping 2 engines, swapping one in, doing this, doing that, and in Seattle, and he just, you know, he switched cars mid-season. This is kind of old faithful with him. He competed up in Canada with Formula Drift Canada in this vehicle, so he knows it's a proven chassis. Is it competitive like his Shelby Cobra? Maybe, you know, maybe not, maybe so. Regardless, he's here, and like you said, just coming into this and showing up at Irwindale and saying like, I'm going to win this thing.
Hey, you know, Nerren and Nelson are an awesome duo. I love to see him continue to do what they're doing.
Nerren will now lead. Denofa will give chase. Denofa and Nerren. One of these drivers going against either Taylor Hull or Jeff Jones in the final 4. We are already in our first battle of the grade 8. Nerren will lead. Coming across the nose of Denofa. Nerren initiates. Not a large degree of angle. Now he pours it on, but with him more and more angle on it, it drops him down the bank. Now Denofa, I would say, has to take a calculated risk here going against Nerren. We saw how it transpired for Ryan Tuerck there. Seems like no big thing there for Nerren out front. And he does swing wide, hangs it out there, and coming into that final outside zone, Nerren and Denofa.
Well, obviously we would need to see a big mistake here from Chelsea Denofa after what we saw on that second outside zone from Nerren. Let's take a look at it. Nice little flick there from Nerren. Midline on the bank, Denofa doing the right thing, following that line. How much pressure does he think that he needs to keep on Nerren here to get the win and move on into the final 4? Good surge right there by Denofa. Good braking adjustment there as he tries to find the right line. Backs off for a second and pushes the pace a little bit more. Big angle there from Nerren as he transitions into this last outside zone. Denofa towing up the rear end there. Seeing the Type S underglow as they go through the finish line and wait for the driver's results.
Really liked what Denofa did there, and you pointed it out on that second inside bank. Just quickly massaged it and just got to the side of him. Here we go, Nerren or Denofa. Nerren and Denofa moves on. Denofa goes to the final 4 here at Irwindale. He got a 3rd place, and now I believe he jumps up in the overall. Again, trying to surpass Frederick Osbo. Ryan, I see you crunching some numbers over there. Again, Gittin Jr., Ryan Tuerck, Frederick Osbo, and Chelsea Denofa.
He just surpassed Frederick Osbo to get into 3rd place with that win.
So now the story. All right, Lorette Nickel is with Kenshiro Gushi.
Ken, 2020 has been wild for you. You started in St. Louis with an injury. Seattle, you lost an engine. Texas, you had a new engine. Irwindale, on Friday, you lost an engine. So how is everything for you right now?
I mean, first of all, it's honestly great to be back in the top 16. Now we're in the top 8 or the grade 8. Haven't been in this position since St. Louis, the 2nd round. So it's great to be back. You know, my team has been doing a phenomenal job this weekend. First of all, with the damaged engine, we did the swap yesterday at the shop, and then we're here today, now into the grade 8. So we're still fighting a little gremlin where we're getting a lot of heat into the engine. But if we can keep that band-aided, I think we can take it pretty high up.
Ken, best of luck. He's looking to repeat 2019 with the event win, guys.
Thank you, Lorette. Congratulations, Ken. And Ryan, I heard you chuckle there. Like you said, I mean, Ken, we've seen that young man grow up. Now he's a man.
It's been many, many years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, and I still feel like he has a lot of passion for drifting. He's obviously really expanded what he does in his driving career. And let's just repeat again, he was the winner last year at this very round, and it was a very emotional moment for him. And because it came off of a season that maybe he wasn't super hyped on.
There you go.
Right, and that kind of same thing happened this year.
Yeah.
So can he repeat? Can he get deep into competition to get those vibes?
Yep, there you go. All right, vibes are right now pointed at Taylor Hull and Jeff Jones. 2 very electric competitors, and as you say, entertaining, in just different ways, but definitely 2 talented drivers. Look at Taylor Hull in that comp cam, kind of like way high. Jeff Jones says, oh, you're up there? Me too, here we go. So Taylor Hull wraps it around that front clip. See what you got. The Intimidator comes in hot. See if he can live up to his name. Full pull, Jeff Jones shallow. All right, now around that second inside clip. Oh, nice transition there from Jeff Jones. Tit for tat now into that outside zone and crossing the finish line. That was a fun one to watch, but quickly out of the gate, Taylor Hull stuck it to the wall.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about this battle is it's 2 veteran drivers that in my mind have had tremendously improved seasons year over year. Both Hull and Jeff Jones have done some great things this year, have gone really deep into competition, and you can see by their driving with each other how that is manifesting out on the track. Let's take a look as we get into the second outside zone. Hull once again dropping into that midline there as Jones surging forward, almost to the back bumper of Taylor Hull as they get one last transition here to that final outside zone. Little bit less of a line there from Jones at the beginning, but then he corrects for it and gets on the right line against Taylor Hull, and now he will be taking the lead.
Jeff Jones out front, that Doc Edelbrock at GT Radial, Nissan 370Z, Taylor Hull comp cams, Liqui Achilles Radial, Cadillac ATS-V. Let's see what we got here in this grade 8 battle. Who's going against Chelsea Denofa in the grade 8? Make sure the track is clear, no debris. Just shed some light on it. Hashtag FDIRW. Let everybody know you're watching. Again, that chase car can leave the line before the lead car to pace themselves. Making sure they're door to door. Jeff Jones initiates. Oh, and Taylor Hull falls out of drift. You saw he initiated and he fell straight right after he initiated. Jeff Jones continues on through the course, Ryan. And Jeff gets out to that second outside zone. Kind of alternating positions with Taylor Hull taking that shallow line. Now see how they handle this last outside Jones, I guess you could say. Jones in for Taylor Hull. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, the first thing you hear from one of our judges is definitely going to need a drone on that, and I totally concur, because what happened in the chase run there with Taylor Hull is going to have a huge impact.
Whoa.
Look at that. It's basically a reinitiation. The front wheels wash out, and he goes straight for a half of a beat and then has to reinitiate the vehicle. I think that that's probably an incomplete, if you look at it as a standalone correction there. And in the chase position, obviously Jones, you know, in the lead position is on throttle at that point, smoking it up. It looks like Taylor Hull just became unstuck there. And it truly is unfortunate, because you could see that he was surging forward as Jones initiated. Hull was surging forward and may have just got a little bit disrupted there. And they've quickly made up their minds here. Here we go.
Yeah, and there you go. So that incomplete by Taylor Hull in that second run is the deciding factor. Jeff Jones makes it into the Final Four once again. We saw it being done in Texas, and here it is. Hopefully keep his car together, and love to see him grab his first ever carbon fiber trophy. And of all places, Irwindale, dude, just knowing this guy, he's over the moon. I wish Lorette could talk to him right now.
The curfew will definitely be violated tonight if that happens.
Too soon, Ryan. Too soon.
Sorry.
Too soon. So on one side of the bracket already in the Final Four, Denofa versus Jones. And there is the trophy. We know whose property that is. That's Von Gittin Jr. And second place and third is TBD. Again, Ryan Tuerck, Chelsea Denofa. They are fighting for that spot because Chelsea does surpass Frederick Osbo, kicking him out of that. And there is Von Gittin Jr., your 2020 champ. He is up next. He is waiting at the line as Bakchis warms up his Falcon tires. That smile says it all from these guys. And again, Bakchis, who we thought early on was gonna really go for it, just mid-season, just had some bad things happen to him and fell off. And Von Gittin Jr. at that moment started striking gold.
Yeah, you know, I don't think we expected Bakchis to, you know, be in this position. You know, he has always been in the top 3, top 5 the past few years. It just goes to show you how challenging this season has been. And, you know, a couple mistakes, you know, some car problems, especially on those doubleheader weekends, right? It's not like we have 8 weekends that are spaced out a month apart and you have time to think about what you're going to do between rounds. It's like the round is the next day. Yep. Gotta go.
Yeah, and that's why I really like this format. Again, Pro 2, Pro. Here we go, Von Gittin Jr., Bakchis. Von said, I'd love to meet my RTR teammate in the finals, because he's 0-3 against Chelsea right now. Von Gittin Jr. and Odie. Wow, look at Odie. We talked about how great his chase run is. A little lower, but Von Gittin Jr. rises to the occasion. Past that front clip. That was a quick little transition. Didn't see a lot of angle there. Woo! Look at that. Von Gittin Jr. and Odie. This is what we want to see, a shape of things to come. Oh, Odie just lets him right past him as Von fills that outside zone. And Odie, that was a solid second half of this run. That was awesome.
What Odie did in outside zone 2 was one of the probably riskier moves that you can make because of how dangerous that outside zone can be. Pretty good job by Vaughn, nice and high on the bank. Odie sticking with him. Now watch this. Odie's gonna shoot down towards Vaughn.
Whoa.
Right there. Makes contact with him, but sticks with it. That was wonderfully executed by Odie Bakchis. Just beautiful there as Vaughn does a great job allowing this to happen because he's putting on a solid lead run. But as we're focusing on the chase driver, we're already thinking, is Vaughn going to be able to do this? And can Odie have a solid lead run? It's 50% of the way done, and we've got 50% more to go.
And we are finding out that Odie's actually calling a competition timeout, Ryan.
I'm not totally surprised about that because I believe there was contact there, but it did not affect either driver in terms of the attitude of the car.
Right.
So I don't think it's going to have a role in judging other than we have, you know, potentially some damage, a damaged rim from Odie or something like that.
What do you guys think of that run, right? Yeah, we're seeing, would you smash the like button for that one? I'm sure you guys will. Yo. Yes, so many fans here. Thank you guys for joining us here. We got the RTR hat on. Looks like it's signed by Vaughn Gittin Jr. himself. And there is Odie and his team over here getting that 5-minute competition timeout clock ready. Kind of sizing up once they get hands on the car. So they're going to check the alignment there. And 5 minutes starts now. So NGK competition timeout being utilized by Odie Bakchis. Do spark plugs time out? Yeah, they sure do. A timely spark plug replacement not only prevents fouling and provides the best engine performance, it ensures less repair time and can save you money on unnecessary repairs. Visit ngksparkplugs.com to learn more about original equipment, suggested spark plug intervals, and find the best plug for your engines. NGK, the ignition specialist. Lorette Nickel down there in the pits, and it looks like we are getting thumbs up. They're saying, yeah, we're towed up. So 4:30 left. I think that's smart for them to utilize it. I mean, you know, they're going against the now champ. Is that the proper strategy?
I want to say yes, just because you're right. It is against the champ, and he's got, if he gets through Gittin, he's got 3 more potential battles. Obviously, a win here would be just a great windfall for Odie Bakchis in the final round of the year. But sometimes you got to make those audibles. You know, you got to call those audibles and tell your team, let's just make sure that the car is tip top. So, you know, it's a tough decision sometimes.
Yeah, it is tough because you're like, oh, did I pull that card too quick? I think again you're going against Vaughn Gittin Jr. We also are hearing that our officials down on the grid are saying that Vaughn does have marks on his wheels, so he'll need to inspect that. So the judges want to take a look at the last run before we start the new one, but I believe we're gonna. Okay, so we're gonna pull up that run here. Here it is again. So I believe they're saying, okay, who's at fault, right? Because if Vaughn wants to get hands on his car and take a look at it, he would need to use his competition timeout as well.
Yes, that is true. So yeah, because we're hearing that there may be damage on Vaughn's car, now they do need to assess fault, because that'll dictate who gets to use their competition timeout and who has that extra time and doesn't have to use it. So
I'm hearing the judges say that Odie's at fault, meaning Vaughn can get hands on the car, take a look at it without utilizing that comp timeout.
yeah, I think that's right. I mean, he was in the beginning of outside zone 2. He'd already decelled. Odie was coming up fast. That seems like the right call.
Yeah, you could, I don't really see, I mean, you could see some rub in there on his fender. Don't see it on the wheels too much. No, it looks like that's a vent. Well, there's in the cockpit of the 2020 Formula Drift champ. If you're just tuning in, earlier in the event, back in top 16 round or battle of the first battle between Tuerck and Nerren. Unfortunately, Tuerck gets knocked out, and that solidified Vaughn Gittin Jr. as your 2020 Formula Drift champ. Here was to be our last battle of the grade 8 to find out who goes in the final 4. JTP, Justin Pawlak, who is absolutely slaying it, going against a reinvigorated Ken Gushi. And Ryan, you said it looks like Gushi from 2019 after kind of a tough year. He won last year. Can he do it again? JTP is going to try to put a stop to that. And there it is. There's that drift tattoo. Dragging that back bumper up on the big bank. The famous Irwindale bank. Now JTP brings it in on the inner bank. Brings it deeper than Ken Gushi, and Ken gains ground and brings in that last outside zone. It seemed that Ken was just a bit short, just a bit outside of that strike zone on every single zone.
Yeah, not really keeping a ton of pressure on Justin Pawlak, and we know how much of a beast Justin Pawlak can be. Notice how high he is on the bank. Ken doing relatively well on the line towards the latter part of the bank. Good switch back there. Now this is usually where we see a surging attack, but Ken's on a slightly tighter line there. He's not fully engaged. So we're seeing some opportunities here for Justin Pawlak in the chase position. Now here he starts making a little bit of a move. He floats out a little bit longer to try to get in the pocket here. We've seen some drivers do that, but he's not fully able to really get within a car length until we get to about almost the end of the course, and he's still about a car length and a half away. So Justin Pawlak has a big opportunity here. How will Ken's lead run be? Can he really get up there high on the bank and show a point of difference? Let's find out here on run 2.
Second run of this battle, that Rowdy Energy Toyota Racing Toyota GR Supra of Kenshiro Gushi, Falcon Tires Roush Performance Ford Mustang, Justin Pawlak. Ken Gushi getting the clean air. Let's see how he handles it. Initiates, throws it into Keeley's tires, go ablaze. You can see him all over the track. Justin thrown off maybe a little bit there, coming down off the bank. Whoa, buddy, and Justin Pawlak, you can see, trying to chase him down. Wonder if Kenshiro is 100% tight to that front clip. It's just, I'm nervous just watching this. I mean, this battle is kind of, it's like an arm wrestling match. You're seeing it go one way, and then it comes back the other, it goes there, and somebody's going to break a wrist.
It seemed like Ken was not really as fast as Pawlak was, and I don't know if that has to do with maybe the car having issues. It just felt that way, right, that Justin was always surging on him. There's a huge left foot braking there, which is allowed. Ken wasn't super high on the bank, but you can see Justin is so close. He's like fighting his own car to not make a mistake here, because it seems like he's much more gripped up than Ken is. So we'll see how this plays out in the judges' minds. But there again, wow, you can see as Ken transitioned to outside now, he surpasses his front wheels there. So this is a crazy one, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Justin kind of just like hiccuping, like, are we cool? No, okay, we're back. Like, watch this. He works it. I mean, like you said, that left foot brake, it caused him to slide and go up the bank, which is where you wanted to be, but it was so volatile.
Yeah, either JTP is really gripped up or Ken is kind of down on power a little bit. It was the first run seemed a lot more smooth and consistent from both drivers, and it just seems like JTP is kind of fighting, not wanting to hit Ken. And as Ken transitions here, he's going to surpass the front wheels almost on this last outside zone. So I'm wondering how the judges are thinking about this one. Very interesting run there. What do you guys think out there?
All right, look at that. We got creative graphic there. JTP, one man saying Goosh up here. We got one more time, Gushi gang. Let's take a look at our BC Racing custom coilover side-by-side instant replay, Ryan.
So let's see if we get any kind of meaning out of the run on the left. See, Ken is not really having much of an issue hanging with Justin. So at least on that run, it looks like they're flying pretty good. Ken obviously is not in very, very close proximity relative to Justin. And remember, the car setups between run 1 and run 2 are going to be exactly the same, other than how the tire wear has been affected. So really interesting here that Justin was able to get that close and seemed like he was really fighting, not wanting to hit Ken.
Yeah, some of these fans are saying go at it again.
One more time. One more time. One more time. One more time.
All right, all the different nationalities and different countries watching right now, thank you. And we'll find out. Remember, we got to go back to Odie and Gittin. And you could see Ken Gushi waiting, slide him left for Pawlak, right for Ken Gushi. One more time, so there the fans get it. Ryan Lantain says Justin Pawlak, and Brian Eggert says one more time. So they are going at it again. This is an OMT here. All right, Ryan Lantain, going to you. You chose one more time. No, wait, no, you didn't actually. You were the only one that sided with JTP.
Yes, I did. I thought that JTP had a more complete run in the lead and the chase. I don't know what was up with Gushi on his lead run. It looked like he either was down on power or was running out of tires. I'm not sure what was going on there, but the fact that he was able to keep up with JTP while JTP was leading is kind of confusing in that sense. But I just felt that JTP did a better job lead and chase. I mean, JTP was surging certainly in the chase, but he was doing his best to stay within proximity. And I just felt that Gushi was missing something.
And I definitely agree with you. I think, even Gushi's run, it seemed almost, I don't want to say unchaseable, but that's a hard act to follow, meaning that it was difficult to chase him. And I think that's why it was so glitchy is a word that's coming to my mind.
Yeah, I think the other judges probably sided with the one more time because maybe they looked at JTP passing, getting a little bit ahead of Gushi before the finish line there as well.
Well, when you kind of, I'd say parked it, but it definitely slowed down drastically. So interesting. Well, regardless, Lantain, whatever you chose, you got outnumbered.
Yep. My opinion did not matter this time.
It always matters, but again, just got outnumbered. So let's go back and revisit the second half of this battle, run 2 between Odie Bakchis and Von Gittin Jr. Odie will lead. Out the tires, field suspension,
That's a good jump by Odie.
But he thought it was going to be a restart? Oh, Von Gittin Jr. goes into the wall. Quickly, we change camera angles, and Vaughn takes himself out. So now, recalling both runs, Odie Bakchis. So, as far as utilizing that competition timeout, I believe it might have paid off for him. But what happened to Von Gittin Jr.? And there it is, some celebratory donuts. Yeah, he says, yeah, I'm out of here. Exit stage left. I'll see you guys at the podium.
He still has the wheels on the car.
Right.
That was a pretty good hit.
Yeah, he just rubbed up on the wall. And you know what? Celebratory burnouts, the Type S lights, and Vaughn's going to say, hey, I'll see you at the podium. I'm going to grab the biggest trophy of them all and cheer on my dude, Chelsea Denofa, because Denofa is still in it.
Wow, look at that. Look at the back of the vehicle there.
Whammo.
Well, let's see what happens here, Jared. And he just, he just floated out. Just floated out a little bit too wide. This hit was not as hard, and obviously he didn't break as many parts. But the initiation comes at a point on the track where as soon as that back bumper starts going up into the wall, I think he kind of realized it was over there and really had nowhere to go. So we see Odie Bakchis finish the run. It should be a clear win for him and an opportunity here to capture a few more hearts and minds before we close out the 2020 season.
Up close with that bumper, and those guys talk about that bumper budget. This is something similar to what he did with Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, this is almost identical, but like you said, not as violent.
I mean, the car is only like cosmetic damage, it looks like. Maybe there's a couple broken parts in there, but, we've seen this many, many times before. That wall, especially at this point in competition, when we've had quite a few runs go down and there's tons of tire marble up there. You get that back bumper up there, you get that rear wheel right on that ledge. It's game over, like Tanner Faust said on Friday.
See your milkshake? I drink it up, says the wall. So it takes you out. So I believe the needle... We'll make it official here. Slide him to the left for Odie Bakchis as Von Gittin Jr., the champ. His night is done. Odie Bakchis gets the win and moves on into the Final Four. We'll go back to JTP and Ken Gushi. We'll take a look at the bracket here as Denofa and Jones are on one side. Odie Bakchis, Denofa. His day started going against Farouk. He went through Michael Essa, then Jonathan Nerren. That's why he's in the Final Four. Then Jeff Jones, you could see as Jones went, Kazuya Taguchi in 16, and then took out Taylor Hull. Odie Bakchis, he started the day earlier against Castro, and then against Forsberg, and then now against Von Gittin Jr. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, it's Justin Pawlak and Ken Gushi.
What takes me to my happy place is actually adding a bottle of Royal Purple Max Boost every time I fill up my tank, and literally feeling the difference it makes with my engine. It's like putting on your favorite pair of socks. What a coincidence. Now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, when you buy a bottle of Max Boost, Royal Purple is going to send you a pair of Royal Purple designer socks. Personally, this might be one of the best promos ever. Max Boost bumps up that octane number a legit 3 points, and the socks put some heat on your feet. How you doing, right?
About the Ford Performance Drift and Dirt Sweepstakes, where you can win your choice of a brand new 2021 Ford Super Duty Tremor, which is ready for work or outdoor adventure at any time.
Or a 480 horsepower track-ready 2021 Ford Mustang Mach 1.
All you have to do is head to driftandirt.com for your chance to win.
Formula Drift is brought to you by BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. Go for gold. And by Falcon Tire. All right, here we are back at Irwindale Speedway, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but we got the Christmas lights courtesy of Type S and Irwindale Speedway. As again, there it is. Buy one Royal Purple Max Boost Octane Booster and Stabilizer. Get one free pair of Royal Purple socks by mail. Redeem at royalpurplepromos.com. But you got to go to O'Reilly Auto Parts. Again, go to O'Reilly, pick up a bottle of Max Boost Octane Booster and Stabilizer. Go to the website, and you'll get a free pair of sweet Royal Purple socks, courtesy of Royal Purple and O'Reilly Auto Parts. 3 drivers are in the Final Four. Chelsea Denofa, Jeff Jones, and one of these drivers. Already in the burnout box is Justin Pawlak, and we're talking about Ken Gushi and his vehicle just, on the chase, hanging tough. In the lead, a little glitchy. Looked like a little bit Wreck-It Ralph there, kind of found the glitch, unfortunately for him. So hopefully got it dialed. Fresh set of Achilles tires underneath his vehicle. Justin Pawlak, if he continues the way he's been driving, he very well could win this event. Just, I really like, again, a standout moment for me with Justin Pawlak is just that transition going from the second inside clip to that fourth outside zone.
Yeah, he's on it tonight and trying to bring those presents to all the good boys and girls as we light it up here at Irwindale Speedway. And Jared, it's actually really exciting. We really appreciate the track putting up all these lights for us. It's because they have something going on here from mid-November or the latter part of November into December. So definitely check that out. Check out santaspeedway.com. There it is. And you can see all these really cool Christmas lights, and the experience that they're going to be putting on that they put up for us is really awesome.
Yeah, November 12th through January 10th. And there we go to the start line. And Justin Pawlak, Kenshiro Gushi on the start line. JTP will lead once again this one more time battle. Either Justin Pawlak or Ken Gushi will go against Bakchis. So it'll be Falcon Tires in the Final Four Or is Ken Gushi going to rain some Achilles tires here and advance on in? We saw Gushi win here last night. JTP out front. Ken Gushi, I said he won last night, I meant last year. Here we go. Justin Pawlak initiates high. Ken Gushi, that is not what Gushi needs to do, and now he works it up. Look how quick is that. And now coming down into the first inside clip. Ken Gushi surges in attack. But Justin Pawlak, this is it. Watch this transition. See if he does one of his flicks or it's smooth. There it is. It's smooth like butter. Into that final outside zone. So unfortunately, Ken Gushi, like you said, Ryan, you're kind of chiming in there a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of flubbed the initiation. Watch, he kind of doesn't really fully commit to the line that Pawlak had. Look at Pawlak taps the wall too. But then Gushi was able to get up there and kind of correct that mistake, that little flub on initiation to get back in the fight here. Now, does he keep the pressure on Justin Pawlak? Because we saw Pawlak on the last run. What Ryan Lantane was talking about is that it seemed like Ken was having issues with power or something like that because Pawlak just had that really incredible surging ability and Gushi didn't seem like he was going as fast. Now this time around was a little bit similar to the last run, but we saw Gushi make that mistake on initiation. Pawlak kind of tapped the big wall, but he corrected pretty well. And then the rest of the run was similar to the first one. So now, as Ken Gushi takes the lead, will we see a different car this time around? Was there really potentially a problem that led to the one more time? And can he make up for it here to try to take out JTP? But we know JTP has already had a podium this year, looked really strong in Seattle, and he is trying to get another one.
Yeah, can Ken Gushi just put it together here? Again, we saw him, and he talked about, he hasn't been back in this position here since St. Louis. Love to put it together. And you got to think, I had some words with Papadakis during the halftime break, and he says, man, we're still developing this car. And that's Papadakis.
100%.
And Ken Gushi still developing this car. New engine, new chassis, all of that. So for the first year, I think, they should still hold their head high as Ken Gushi initiates. High on the bank, Justin Pawlak, you see him. So Ken looking a lot more consistent and fluid as opposed to his first battle. Now coming past that inside clip into that second outside zone, the inner bank, and this gives Justin Pawlak a better opportunity to chase him down. You can't have a good chase unless you got a good lead. This is definitely a more chaseable run prior to the previous battle. And there we go. Ken Gushi putting the car in the right places, but everywhere he went, that teal and blue Ford Mustang was following.
Well, I think this was a much better lead run on the big bank for Ken Gushi the second time around. And the surging attack that Justin Pawlak had was not there, and that indicates to me that maybe there was an issue with Ken's car on the battle that led to the one more time. Justin Pawlak right here takes a move on the inside, tries to get on that same line with Ken Gushi. Little fireball there as he attacks, backs off for a second, attacks again. Gushi smooth through inside clip number 1, looking for that final rotation into outside zone 3 as JTP scoots up right next to him, matching that line. And here it is again from the sky, that final turn. Great job by Gushi to hit that line right at the edge. And then Pawlak coming through the finish line about a half-car distance there. Much better battle the second time around, but was there enough in one driver's camp to get that victory?
The winner of this battle going against Odi Bakchis right now. Chris Yule says JTP. Ryan Lantane says Justin Pawlak. And Brian Eggert says JTP. It is Falcon Tires on the right side of the final 4 brackets. All right, our fans, what'd you guys think? Is that the way you expected? We see Pawlak, I'm seeing OMT, and Brian Jr. there. He's just hanging out.
Change the page. There's more people here.
All right, JTP. So a lot of Pawlak going on. Oh, we got impact. We got impact guns there. All right. So our fans there in the AEM virtual fan zone.
I like to see the youngins get involved there.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Drift fans of all age.
Yep.
Denofa and Jones, Bakchis and Pawlak. That is our final 4. Our Type S final 4. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. This is the Type S title fight. Only 4 more battles before we find out who wins here at Irwindale. And here we go, coming up to the line. So 2 Ford Mustangs in the finals. 1 RTR and 1 Falcon Tires, the AKA Hotline Ford Mustang of JTP. Now, Jeff Jones, his best finish to date, Final Four in Texas, and here he is going against Chelsea Denofa. I'm sure Jeff Jones would love to get a carbon fiber trophy here in his own home track, the track closest to his house. What do you got?
Yeah, let me just give you a little bit of insight here. Jeff Jones, coming into this event, was in 13th place. Because of where some of the other drivers went out, he's going to maybe get very close to cracking the top 10. Really, really close. Might end up in that 11th spot. Chelsea Denofa, on the other hand, he's already got points locked in for the Final Four. If he wins here, he will overcome Ryan Tuerck for 2nd place. If he loses here, he can still do that by getting 3rd place.
Okay, got it. All right, so he holds his fate in his hands right now, 2nd or 3rd.
Right now, as it stands, it is a 8-point difference.
Wow, okay. Chelsea Denofa will lead. Jeff Jones giving chase. Our first battle of the Type S Final Four. The purple lights are on. Denofa initiates, pulling away from Jones, not part of the equation. Denofa dragging bumper up on the big bank. Denofa turning it to 11. We saw him in 3rd place on Friday night. And you know what? Just the way Denofa is driving, all I can say is the way he's going to lose this is taking himself out and making a mistake.
Well, as you said, turning it up to 11, that truer words have not been spoken. I mean, that was really a situation where Jones wasn't much of a factor there, and it was caused by Denofa getting a great jump and then just having the ability to keep that grip in the vehicle and keep that gap right there. I mean, that was fairly consistent throughout the run. Jones never really came into play, even on areas where we have compression, like here on inside clip number 1. You could see that arc that Denofa was drawing was smooth, it was fast. He locks in on this last outside zone, and Jones is still really not a factor. So Jones has got his work cut out for him here. He'll take the lead against Denofa, and Denofa's got to be thinking about, what's his strategy here? Does he give Jones a little bit of room, or does he push hard here to try to make his way into the finals?
Jeff Jones on the start line, clearing up the track right now, our race officials. Jones and Denofa. Who's going to the finals? Our Type S finals. And it's been one heck of a weekend. Kick things off on Thursday with practice. Friday, round 7 of the Pro Championship. Last night, Pro 2, Dmitry Brutsky comes out on top collectively of the 4 rounds. Mike Power from the East Coast grabs his first ever podium, and it was the win here in Irwindale. Let's send him on the 2nd run of this battle, our first battle of the Type S Final Four. Jones, Denofa. I have a feeling Denofa's going to kick back a little bit, and then he's going to strike past that first front clip. So watch this. He's going to gain ground on him, Jeff. Lower on the bank. But that's good. It's okay. But watch Denofa coming into the 2nd inner bank. I think he's going to try to stick it to the door of Jones just to not leave it in the judge's hands. And there he goes, moving on in. The gold nose getting to the side of that Doc Edelbrock GT Radial 370Z. But the Ford Mustang of Chelsea Denofa, too much to handle. Ryan, a great run by Jeff Jones, a good effort. But I think that Denofa is just possessed.
Yeah, the opportunity seemed to be lost on the chase run by Jones, and you can see he's midline on the bank there, so he's not going to be able to better the lead run of Chelsea Denofa on that section of the course. And Denofa is doing enough here in the chase, keeping the pressure on through the 2nd outside zone. Looking pretty solid there, got super close on that inside clip. And then the final turn here lets a little bit of breath go by, and then tightens it down once again. So a little bit of a missed opportunity there for Jeff Jones on his chase run. And it looks like Denofa will be moving on in to the finals.
Jeff should be so proud of this season, man. Yep. I am so proud of him.
100%.
So regardless, great effort this whole season. And I can't wait to have a beer with him later and just high five and handshake, of course, using some sanitizing lotion. But yeah, congratulations to Jeff Jones on a great season. But Chelsea Denofa is going to the finals, and guess what? Jeff Jones, you still got another battle for third place because, again, qualifying is not part of the equation here in our 2020 condensed season. So Jeff Jones will go against the loser between Odie and Pawlak. He could still grab a carbon fiber trophy, but we will find out who goes against Denofa in the finals. Will it be that man, Justin Pawlak, JTP, as he sits focused and about to enter into that burnout box? Could see Odie. All right, so we're talking about Mustangs. Denofa's in the finals, but an early exit of Vaughn Gittin Jr. But like I said, he's going to be cheering on Denofa because he's already going to get the biggest trophy. Vaughn Gittin Jr. locks in the 2020 Formula Drift Championship. After just an amazing weekend in Seattle, that was where he just clipped the apex and absolutely took it home towards the finish line here at Irwindale. Vaughn Gittin Jr., the battle in Seattle, the Monroe Monster, that big old wall. And like you said, Ryan, the Passcode round the world, Pawlak and Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Yeah, and this was after that happened because you could see all the damage that happened to Vaughn's front. It was one of the most amazing things, and I think one of the most amazing memories that I'll have from the 2020 season in terms of competition, just because it was one of those ones where, oh, something new happened again. Right. But outside of that, Gittin just, he turned it up a level. He was able to kind of dig. One thing I've noticed about Gittin this year is, and it sounds weird to say this about a 17-year veteran, is that he had a type of maturity that I haven't seen in the past.
Since 2010.
Well, he didn't talk about the championship. It seemed he was like he was focused on every battle individually, and when he was asked by Lorette, asked by us about the championship, he said he was never really worried about it. I think that takes a really high level of maturity to not think about, hey, I'm going to capture my second championship this year, and then just grind on that in your mind and be stressed out about it. He was just focusing his attention on every battle that was in front of him, and I think that has proven this year to be a great strategy for him moving forward. And also knowing that one of the other goals that he has as a team owner is to have his partner in crime be right next to him. And with the 88 points that Chelsea Denofa secured at minimum by going into the finals, they will now be 1 and 2 in the championship points.
Wow. There you have it. So 2 of those trophies are RTR, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. locks it in. And like you said, Ryan, Chelsea Denofa slides into that second spot, bumping Ryan Tuerck down. So Ryan Tuerck will be third in the overall championship. And here we go to the other side of this Type S Final Four bracket. Teal and blue covered, but 2 different drivers and vehicles. Odie Bakchis will lead, Justin Pawlak chasing him down. Odie, look at this, rocketing out. Odie dragging that board. Oh, and Pawlak goes into the wall.
Oh boy.
Oh man, yeah, keep your eye on Odie. Here we go into that inside bank. Now we are talking about, again, okay, so Odie keeps it consistent. Ryan, what do you got?
I don't want to jump too far ahead here, but I want to really see the damage on Justin Pawlak because no question we have to finish up this battle, right?
But Jeff Jones
for the third place battle, if it does not go, okay, he's driving, so that should be
That's a good sign.
Okay, because you obviously want him to be ready to attack for that third place battle. What will happen here now is that Justin Pawlak will have an incomplete on his chase run, and he's going to have a big hurdle to climb in trying to get past Odie Bakchis.
Now remember, Odie did utilize his competition timeout earlier. He didn't have contact with the wall, but Justin Pawlak quickly went straight to the pits. Let's take a look at it again here. What happened?
Well, there's a gap established, and it looks like he's trying to close the door. And same thing that Vaughn did in basically the same place, but a little bit more aggressive. That's why I was initially worried. Watch everything fly off the car here. Man, tons of debris. Thankfully, the car looks like it took the hit pretty well. Let's take a look at it again. He's going to start floating. Look at Odie rubbing right on the wall. Very big angle, touches, and then again, that front end just gets sucked right into the big bank. So JTP, there's an up close look at the damage, the right rear of Justin Pawlak. And looking at the wheels here, oh yeah, that one, the right rear looks like it's a little bent inward.
Yeah, it's definitely punched in.
See anything on the front?
I don't, because I mean it did whip him into it, but it didn't seem as bad. Again, as we've seen in the past with Von Gittin Jr. and some of the other drivers, where it just sucks you up. So Justin, like I said, I was bragging about those drift tattoos with him scraping, but that's a lot deeper.
What do you think Justin's thinking about here? I mean, this is really interesting situation because, he's using the 5,
or is he?
Well, he has to use the 5 because he went back to the hot pit, right? But I wonder, do you concede here and then just look at the third place battle, or do you try to get back? Okay, yeah. See, I'm overhearing some of the conversations.
Oh, interesting.
If he says I'm out right here and not touch the car, see, they haven't touched the car yet. If he says I'm out right here, he could hang on to the 5 for.
We should just call it and start working on it now, and he has a little bit more time. I mean, he. So this is strategy. He would be the next battle.
Yeah. Odie still has to do the buy run, right?
Odie has to do the buy run. So call the comp timeout. We're going to have to wait.
Well, no, don't call the comp timeout. Just concede. Let Odie do the buy run, and then when he crosses the finish line, then call the comp timeout.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're figuring this out. He's not calling.
See, this is one of those new ones.
this with any motorsport, if it's Formula One, NASCAR, rules get instituted because of scenarios like this. There's always addendums. We don't really hear about them too often.
That's a concession right there.
There it is.
Why don't you go higher? I gifted you.
Why don't you go higher?
I'm gonna be super disappointed.
And that's the perspective. Lorette, what are they saying?
Justin, I think you just heard Justin say, I just gifted you first, so if you don't win, I'll be super disappointed. And Justin, looking under the hood, you can see the damage on the car is in the back rear right. So this tire right in the front looks pretty gnarly. He's looking at it with a flashlight. They're looking for the damage. I want to ask Justin specifically for what. Also, don't want to get in his way. Yeah, exactly.
Don't bother him just yet. Lorette, how's the energy down there in the pits?
These guys are so excited. I've been trying to get to Jeff Jones, but things are just happening. It's chaotic down here, and you can see JTP on his car. Odie right now is kind of watching everything. Jeff Jones waiting in the wings. Chelsea Denofa is a little bit further
cheering
away.
on Chelsea. Chelsea Denofa's in the finals. What's the RTR vibe down there?
Oh man, they are celebrating. It has been amazing and electric over there. So Chelsea Denofa, we're on the complete opposite side of the hot pits. I'm not over there with them. Again, and the guys are just in a real celebratory mood.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Lorette. Love all the insight here. All right, let's watch Odie rip it down the track. He is going to the finals. Odie Bakchis going to the finals. This is his bye run because, unfortunately, Justin Pawlak again took into the wall. So some strategy coming to play here because JTP will go against Jeff Jones for third place.
Yeah, I think whoever called that audible on behalf of Justin Pawlak, or if JTP did it himself, that's actually a really smart move, thinking about it now and how it's going to help him, build a little bit more time, because he wasn't going to win against Odie, right? Odie's too consistent. Then as the lead,
and he hit the wall, so he's got a deficit. So if you fixed it, he came back, he's still at a deficit.
And he's got he's got to start working on it then, right? So now he can start working on it now. He concedes. Good move there. Gives him a little bit extra time. So now at this point, we're just going to be going into the competition timeout, because as soon as that happens, now the comp time will start moving forward, right? They'll say, all right, you have to get to the line. You say, I can't, I need to call a competition timeout, and they'll start moving forward with the 5-minute clock. So smart move there, buying themselves a little bit more time, and hopefully that'll give us a good third-place battle.
Yeah, right, Jones and Pawlak. If you haven't already, vote for your favorite Formula Drift driver, courtesy of Holley. Holley Performance. Again, I know they're in some promotion. Save some money here. Vote for your favorite Formula Drift driver at the top of the chat in the Formula Drift YouTube stream. Again, vote for your favorite Formula Drift driver of the 2020 pro season. There are the AEM virtual. Oh, look, we got Kyle Cross's son, Mason Cross. Kyle Cross, the photographer, his son is in there. What's up, Mason? I see you in there, homeboy. Yeah, Mason, giving you a shout out. So, Vaughn, we got Supercharger to the podium. All right, Odie. Yeah, so
let's go.
A lot of Odie fans. So, who's pulling for Denofa out there? Seeing a lot of Odie fans. But Denofa and Odie are in the finals. All right, so when we come back, we'll see, did JTP get it together in his Falcon Tires Ford Mustang? Jeff Jones waits to find out his destiny, and that will be our third place battle. Of course, we'll find out who wins here at Irwindale, Denofa or Bakchis.
Your body is a machine with 800 horses coursing through its veins. Ignite it. NOS Energy, human horsepower.
What takes me to my happy place is actually adding a bottle of Royal Purple Max Boost every time I fill up my tank, and literally feeling the difference it makes with my engine. It's like putting on your favorite pair of socks. What a coincidence. Now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, when you buy a bottle of Max Boost, Royal Purple is going to send you a pair of Royal Purple designer socks. Personally, this might be one of the best promos ever. Max Boost bumps up that octane number a legit 3 points, and the socks put some heat on your feet. How you doing, right?
The Falcon Azenis RT660 is the enthusiast choice for ultra-high performance. Engineered for predictable handling and stability, the RT660 provides maximum traction both on and off the track. Your competitive edge has arrived with the Falcon Azenis RT660.
We're pumped to let you know about the Ford Performance Drift and Dirt Sweepstakes, where you can win your choice of a brand new 2021 Ford Super Duty Tremor, which is ready for work or outdoor adventure at any time.
Or a 480 horsepower, track-ready 2021 Ford Mustang Mach 1.
All you have to do is head to driftandirt.com for your chance to win.
My name is Farouk Kouaim.
Hey, I'm Justin Pawlak.
My name is Josh Robinson.
Hey guys, Dylan Hughes, Formula Drift Pro 1 driver, and I drive Link.
I drive Link. I drive Link.
I drive Link.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Air Force, Aim High. Type S, official lighting sponsor of Formula Drift. Lights, camera, power, fun. And GT Radial, Experience the performance. Welcome back. It's getting lit, literally, as we are about to enter into the third place battle. Ryan, that Pawlak, Jeff Jones. Can Jeff Jones finally get a formula? I don't want to say finally, like it's like, oh, eternal, not Lord of the Rings over here, not a 9-hour walk, but it'd be great to see Jones get it, and of course JTP. I mean, they all went away.
Yeah, and let's get the fans caught up on what transpired here. We saw Justin Pawlak go hard into the wall, causing damage to his vehicle. He drove back to the hot pits, which usually triggers an automatic competition timeout. However, somebody on his team was smart enough to tell Justin or somebody on his team to concede that battle.
Yep.
Now, once he did that, that meant Bakchis had to do his buy run, and then they could use that time from the buy run until Bakchis finished his run to then call the competition timeout, and that's giving them more time to prepare and fix the vehicle to try to do this third place battle against Jeff Jones.
Is the clock going for him? Okay, so he has not called it just yet, actually. So we're finding out from the officials, he has not called it. We are in the natural flow of time. So you can see the 5-minute clock there off to the side, and there it is. So now the 5 minutes starts.
Yep. Yeah, the finals get on a one more time. It's a 7-minute natural kind of break, so that way they can change tires. And on this one, it's approximately the same amount of time. So this is a good move for them because they had a lot of damage. And obviously, as fans, and part of the reason why we have this in the rule book is so that we can get those final battles.
Yep.
It's really important for that to happen. So Jeff Jones will wait patiently on the side as Justin Pawlak and his team are working feverishly to get that bad boy running.
I'd say impatiently Jeff Jones is waiting.
You think he's biting his fingernails? He's
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I want to get this over with?
Yeah, maybe, but I say impatiently, yeah, because he's just like eager. You know, I feel like he's just like, let me go. All right, so we are in the NGK competition timeout. There's Jeff. I don't know, what can you read his body language there, Ryan? Looks like he's just putting his lid on.
I don't think Jeff is ever phased, to be honest with you. I think he is always ready to go at any time, and this is, as you mentioned, this is an opportunity for him to seize on something that will be a first for him.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had, a great season of memories created by Jeff Jones. I think this has been a standout for him among some other drivers, and here's a great way to cap it off.
The NGK competition timeout, as do spark plugs timeout? They sure do, and timely spark plug replacement not only prevents fouling and provides the best engine performance, it ensures less repair time and can save you money on unnecessary repairs. Visit ngksparkplugs.com to learn more about OE-suggested spark plug intervals and find the best plug for your engines. NGK, the ignition specialist. So as you can see, just over 3 minutes left here. Justin Pawlak, and he is getting all hands on deck. Ryan, a lot of people are asking about 2021, and we're still in limbo on a lot of things. Like you said, if Jeff wins, the curfew will be broken. All joking aside, there's a lot of what ifs. Can you allude to anything in regards to 2021 for our fans?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, our goal was to essentially do what we did this year. We could have taken a wrong turn on one of these events and done some real, damage and really put teams in a tough position. But we got to this point where we were able to get through all these events. Some events we had fans, some events we didn't, but we kind of anticipated that. And now, it's about finishing this up and looking towards 21. 21 is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be, something like the ballpark of what we're experiencing right now, but I think we all have hope that we can kick things off, with much better conditions. But our plan right now is to basically try to announce a preliminary schedule before the holidays. We know a lot of that turns on Long Beach. It seems, more improbable that Long Beach is going to be in effect, but we want to wait to see that.
Yep.
And we know how long they need to take to break ground, which is probably right around the holiday season. But either way, we've been working really hard to put together a championship that's going to be more like 2019 than 2020. That means 8 rounds, 8 locations. That's what we're shooting for. Is it going to look exactly the same as 2019? I don't think so, but we're excited about what we have so far, and we're going to try to see that through.
Yeah, just the probability of it is really dictated by, certain regions, certain venues. Again, we deal with those medium-sized venues. I mean, if we could have 8 Irwindales across the country, just that we have different layouts, I think that would be ideal. But I think people like the variety, and I threw kind of a troll out there about Freedom Factory, and that always comes up. And I like messing with the fans a little bit. I've been out there; it's a cool venue. That's not locked, but I just said it just to mess with people a little bit, just to, I don't know, give them a little trail.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different factors that go into it. There's are the venues a place where there's enough space to do Pro and Pro 2? Yeah. Is it a market that we think that we can, pull fans in if we're allowed to have fans? We were kind of able to get away, with forecasting without fans this year because we went to those double headers, but we can't anticipate to do that for next year. It's not sustainable. So we've got to look to try and put together as many events as we can as possible with fans and look at those markets that can have us so that we can create these really cool memories. There's a lot of memories that came out of this year that will certainly be an asterisk season, but it'll be an important time for us to reflect, to say we got taken into deep waters, really deep waters, and the people that came together to make this year happen. The series made a choice to go and do this doubleheader format. The drivers and the team believed in our vision. The sponsors helped support that vision and gave us the latitude to do the things that we wanted to do. And then importantly, the fans supported us. They came out when they could. They watched the broadcast, and as we see the competition timeout go to 0, the question now is in front of us: did JTP make it?
Yeah, he made it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. He literally pulled away with 3 seconds on the clock. Yeah. 3 seconds on the clock. So Jeff Jones, he would have loved to have been handed a trophy, but you want to earn the trophy.
You want to earn it, baby.
Earn it, man. So Justin Pawlak, we saw him again in Seattle. Him and Von Gittin Jr. It was again that passed around the world. Some carnage, some calamity, and some excitement. As now we're going to see third place, JTP, Jeff Jones. They are third place, waiting in the wings, Denofa and Bakchis. This is the championship history. Added to that list once again, Von Gittin Jr. His name is chiseled into stone. He is, again, joining himself along with 16, we'll do the math, not 16, but 16 years of previous champions. Again, Sam, Reese, Tanner, Forsberg, Dio Shahara, Daigo, Essa, Osbo, James Dean, and again, Von Gittin Jr. So 10 champions. It was great to catch up and see James the Machine Dean this morning in 32.
I mean, to think about how long it's been and what we were expecting coming into the 2020 season. Remember, not only were we expecting James and Peter to come back, we were also expecting Daigo Saito to make an appearance, and another yet to be unnamed Japanese driver that was really going to mix things up. Then the world imploded, and we got to where we are now. Now, I hope that we see all those same faces in the future, because I feel like the best drifting is still yet to come, just given how much progression these guys have made in the cars, what they're doing in engineering, and being able to use the tire compounds that they're assigned to because of our tire rules and things like that. It really is amazing what they're doing with these vehicles and their driving ability.
It's exciting. All right. What's also exciting, third place battle, Jeff Jones, Justin Pawlak, our Type S third place battle. Larry Chen down there, signature hat and camo lens. Larry, go ahead, take the photos, bro. Seeker of light. Speaking of lights, they extinguish. Let's send it, Jeff Jones and JTP Justin Pawlak. Jeff Jones initiating tie on the bank, that Doc Edelbrock GT Radial 370Z. JTP, Justin Pawlak, maybe a little bit timid there. Didn't get the car dialed enough. He doesn't have another competition timeout. Jeff Jones could get his first ever Formula Drift podium here at Irwindale. Look at that, JTP now back to form. But Jeff Jones with a solid lead run right there on that front inside clip. Into that last outside zone. He dials it, man. He is right on it. The lightning bolts are striking on track and on the side of the rip.
Well, if there's ever a moment, Jeff, to dig deep, this is it, man. He puts down a pretty solid lead run. JTP goes a little bit lower there, so Jeff, advantage coming off of the big bank. Now into the transition. JTP gets a little bit more settled once they leave the big bank. And you can see he's working it around right here. Now he's kind of on the line with Jeff Jones. Attacking here on the second outside zone. Great job by Justin Pawlak. Super close on proximity. Jones mid-line on the bank. And a good compression there as they hit that second inside clip. And then back around, falling right in line is Justin Pawlak as Jeff Jones just on that outside line on outside zone number 3. But a real opportunity here for Jeff Jones for a career first. Can he capture this moment here, or will JTP get his second podium of the season?
Wow. Wow, and that was a good run there for Jeff Jones. Interested to see how he stacks up against Justin Pawlak. We saw Pawlak throw down against Ken Gushi. I don't think he gapped him, but I'm also wondering, is Justin, oh, we got to restart. I'm wondering if Justin Pawlak's vehicle is 100%, because it seemed a bit timid on initiation.
And it may be that he's wondering if it's 100%, right? Whether or not it is. Like maybe now he knows, but at first pass, when you go out there, you don't want to crunch it into the wall, right? You just did that.
Yep. All right. And yep, seeing a lot of Jeff Jones fans out there on the AM virtual fan zone.
Yeah, somebody gave you some love right there.
Give me a shout out. I don't know what he said after. It might have been bad.
Something, Deanda.
might have been bad, might have been good, regardless. Here we go. Let's see the second half of this battle. Pawlak and Jones. Thumbs up. Send them, fellas. Matt Sopa on the line. Let's extinguish the lights. It's go time. Lights go off. Emotions go high. It's on. JTP initiates into the bank. High. Look at that. Scraping the bumper once again. No timidness at all. Look at that. Shredding that like a banana. Jeff Jones comes in hot. Woo! Look at that transition from Jones. Comes up bit shallow. Pawlak goes deep. Now transition in that final outside zone. Pawlak and Jones. Oh, man.
Honestly, that was one of the best lead runs I think we've seen all night. I mean, that was full commitment from Justin Pawlak from start to finish. Look at that. Right up against the wall. Dragging that bumper all the way through. I mean, massively up on the wall. High-risk maneuver.
But wait, there's more.
Jones. Touching up right there, surging forward, and then again on that outside zone. A real big difference there between the line of Justin Pawlak and the line of Jeff Jones. Smooth, consistent. Jones trying to attack one last time. Can he get Justin Pawlak back? Can he force it to it one more time? And wow, that was a great lead run from JTP.
Like I said, watch this scrape. He is up close and personal. Initiates. And just brings it on in. Hey, how you doing? You staying out of the wall? that was a solid belly laugh there, Ryan. Yeah. All right, both of these drivers wait, and man, Justin Pawlak's rear end, look at that thing. He got toe up from the flow up as Jeff Jones waits. Will the carbon fiber trophy elude him? Here is the BC Racing custom coilover side-by-side replay.
I'm tempted just to watch, but Justin Pawlak hitting the bank on his initiation, right after his initiation, but holding it really well.
Love how Jeff attacked on the transition, but he ended up gripping up and taking a shallower line. Pawlak on that second half was more aggressive. But even on initiation, to be honest, Jeff was high on the lead run, and Pawlak was not exactly dialed. But I think just those X factors. Look at these fans are saying one more time, seeing a Jones here.
Those are all the little tidbits that go into the calculus, right, for the judges as they think about who they want to vote for.
Seeing OMTs. Do we have a winner? Is it Pawlak? Is it Jones? Are they going at it again? The drivers impatiently wait. Slide him left for Jones, right for Pawlak. Chris Yule says Justin Pawlak. And there it is. JTP gets third place, and it's unanimous. So unfortunately for Jeff Jones, he is knocked out. And JTP gets on the podium. I wish I could give out a, not a participation trophy, but just a Jeff Jones trophy, man. Second time he hit fourth this season.
Yeah, what a, you mentioned it earlier on, but it's been an incredible year for Jeff Jones. You can see he's super excited about it to close it out. It's a great way for him to close it out. A tremendous competitor, awesome guy. Congratulations, hats off to you, Jeff Jones. Nice 2020 run.
Yep. So his fourth place celebration, his boys.
Look at their pump, man.
Oh, no, he's like, so close. So close. You could smell it. You could smell the champagne. Well, Ryan, both these guys are guaranteed trophies, and one of them is getting 2. That would be Chelsea Denofa. Chelsea is second overall in the 2020 Formula Drift Championship, piloting his BC Racing Nitto tires Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Now, this is the best finish that Chelsea Denofa has had over the 10 years of competing. I'm not exactly sure of the number. He's not exactly sure when I ask him, to be honest. But just the maturity of Chelsea Denofa, the education as a driver, seeing him compete in different series outside of Formula Drift. And I used to think he was really cocky, and now he's proven himself. Here he is holding that chrome trophy, and as hugs are going around there, you have to again acknowledge Jeff Jones. But Chelsea Denofa putting it down. Will he get the win here? Oh, look. Sorry, not giving you room there to talk. Lorette, what's up?
Sorry, Jared. Jeff Jones, congratulations on your 4th place finish. I know you were looking for that 3rd, but man, you should be so proud of your 2020 season.
Oh man, I tell you what, I'm really glad he got his car together, because it was going to be bittersweet. I did not want to take my first trophy like that. There's no way. And running with Justin, that brings out the best in me. Me and that guy, when I run against Ryan Litteral, some of us brings out the best in my driving, and he threw it down. He got his car together in time. They're going to go and win their things. But like I said before, my box is bigger. 4th place with my small team. We killed it, guys. GT Radio, Doc 370Z, Edelbrock. I swear I'm going to take that thing with the podium one day, but
I know, you're the best. You're a national treasure. The guys are lining up. We got to go. Guys, back to you.
Lorette. Ryan, anything you want to add about Denofa? I was just kind of elaborating on his journey here.
I think you can say there's no question he's a real championship contender. I think we always thought that from the first victory that he had in Long Beach many years ago, but now it is a legitimate claim to say that he is one of the top guys. And let's remember, it's going to be 1-2 him and Gittin. That is not the way the championship came into this round.
No way. But you know what? Bakchis would love to end the season with a win. Taking that momentum into 2021, Chelsea Denofa. Big angle from him. Does not get as high as we saw previously from Justin Pawlak. That's a great unit of measure, but he is flying into that second outside zone. He definitely gets deep there. Bakchis still, again, the teal and blue, the shadow that is Bakchis. Might have just deemed his new nickname right there. He is just, man, he is everywhere, man.
Well, some interesting takeaways there, Jared, from that first run. You mentioned Denofa not fully getting up to that outside zone 1, and that is an area where Odie can look in his lead run. Odie surging in the chase position. He made that adjustment to follow Denofa. Nice transition with Denofa on inside clip 1. Dives in here to 2. And Odie's doing a pretty good job keeping the pressure on. He's staying up there with a pretty long duration. I mean, that is a nice bit of driving there. Now, Denofa coming into this final outside zone, sets it up near perfectly, gets right to the edge of that line, and smoothly crosses the finish line. But we've seen the lead run from Denofa. We saw where he made a couple sacrifices on that big bank. And now, we know that Odie and his spotter talk regularly. Amy does a tremendous job when she's in that position. I'm not sure if she's doing it tonight.
Yeah,
but
she is.
If she is, she'll know exactly what to tell him to get that strategy to take home the win.
You know what she says?
What?
You got this, babe.
You got this, babe. All right.
Here we go. Bakchis out front. We'll see if you got this, babe. As Chelsea Denofa brings on her home. We saw him grab a win earlier this year in St. Louis. He got round 2. Oh, man. Chelsea's in that smoke line, and there it is. Ryan, you called it. Look at that. Nice. As Denofa makes a mistake on that front clip. Bakchis, one more outside zone for glory, and he could have a victory here in the 2020 season.
How Denofa saved that was unbelievable. I think that's a testament to his driving. He was fully blinded coming off the bank through massive angle on the wrong side of inside clip number 1 and still somehow managed to put in a pretty good chase through outside zone number 2. Let's take a look at it here because that was pretty sensational even though it was a mistake. And you have to imagine that Odie, taking that information from his spotter, did a good job here. He was like mid-high line on the bank, maybe a little bit better than Denofa, but see, Denofa's in the smoke line here. He's gonna come down and transition way too hard and on the wrong side of inside clip 1. Now, amazingly, he disappears for a second and then comes back in, and he's kind of like back in play here.
Right.
But on the last outside zone, he comes a little bit uncorked as well and is not able to finish the run with the right kind of fluidity and stay on the line with Odie Bakchis. So there it is, big angle there to outside zone 3. You see he starts falling back a little bit, wasn't able to stay with Odie.
I feel like Chelsea, when he's coming off the bank through the smoke, it's the meme, though, no, and then he just takes it out.
Yeah, hitting that clip, you know, I mean, he kind of center punched it, but it was because he was just on a slightly wrong line there. And like I said, amazingly, and this is a testament to his driving ability, he was able to get back on it.
And watch Chelsea here. Watch Chelsea here. And yeah, we do have a winner.
Let's bring him down.
So let's bring him on down. Bring him on down to the traditional start-finish. Ryan, your thoughts of Irwindale, not only tonight, but the overall triple header. We saw Osbo, we saw Mike Power, we saw Dimitri Brutsky get the Pro 2 championship, and now a pro champion and a winner here in Irwindale.
Yeah, you know, in the spirit of what Vaughn, our champion, has been saying for the past couple rounds, and you know, again tonight, it really has been taking it kind of day by day as things have developed, you know, in the championship and trying to move events around and getting to this point. It feels like such a sigh of relief to get to the end, even though I want to see battles into the mid-morning. I just love drifting so much, and I love seeing these guys battle. It does feel good to finish off the 2020 season, even with all the constraints and challenges that there were. And I hope that all the fans and drivers and sponsors and everybody that gave us support kind of feel the same way. We did it.
Yeah.
We got through all this.
Well, it does feel a little bit normal to banter with you and bicker with you, and we have this old married couple relationship, if you could call it that. But I love you. I appreciate you both on the mic and off the mic, man. So thank you for all that you do for me, man.
Big
I love you.
brother.
Thank you. And also unofficially, Ford does lock up the manufacturer championship, and I believe, again, unofficially, we'll get all the numbers. Nitto Tire is not only 1, not only 2, not only 3, but Nitto Tire is 1 through 4 in the 2020 season, talking about overall standing. So we'll announce our third place finisher here, of course, and then we will announce our winner here at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. The Type S title fight culminates now, and we will have our podium ceremony. We won't be live streaming that, but there's some hugs from these two shredders. A great battle here. You can see Chelsea still smiles for miles. He finishes 2nd overall. So third place here at round 8.
All right.
Third place here at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Come on, man. Put your hands up. There you go. JTP, Justin Pawlak, back on the podium, homeboy. Come on. Smiles for miles. Kalamazoo, Michigan's own, the Hotline Boy. All right, your winner here at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Your winner is unanimous. Your winner, unanimous. There it is. Teal and blue, Odie Bakchis, your winner here, round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. You can't hear me? Nobody else is here yelling. Odie, you won, kid. You won. You did it. You did it. You got this, babe. Right, Amy? All right, that means 2nd place, not only here tonight, but in the overall championship. And we'll give out those chrome trophies. 2nd place in that BC Racing Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Don't jump off the wall and celebrate, Chelsea, and break more heels. Your winner, or 2nd place, Chelsea Denofa. 2nd place here at round 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. And there it is. Woo! There it is, cracking a monster, cracking a cold one. So you got Bakchis, Denofa, and Pawlak. An eerie yet somewhat normal again sitting up here next to you. Lorette Nickel, I'm throwing it down to you. I see you working through the socially distanced crowd, we're at least wearing masks. So thank you. Lorette, down to you. You got Odie there?
Yeah, I'm trying to make my way through the crowd. They're obviously celebrating. They're taking a photo and videos. Odie Bakchis, you have been looking for this first win of this 2020 season. Congratulations. I know for round 7, I heard you say that you had an awkward mechanical failure. Was that in the back of your head?
Yeah, you know, we worked hard to fix the transmission after I went out in top 32 in round 7. Whoa. And honestly, we had some gremlins of the similar sort pop up, and I just had to put in the back of my head and say that is out of my control. We don't have time to pull the transmission out. And I just had to shift very cautiously into initiation. But it worked out really good, and this is not only the first win that I'm celebrating with my team. I've been in this for 10 years, and this is the only venue I have not podiumed at. So this means a huge deal to me, and to Amy, my wife, spotter, we've been working hard for this, so I am stoked, absolutely stoked.
Oh man, Odie, was so happy for you. What has this season been like for you? How do you even put it into words?
You know, this year's been tough for everyone, but hats off to Formula Drift for putting this series together through a very turbulent time. And I sit back and watch, you know, acquaintances that race in other organizations, and I am blown away how Formula Drift has been able to put it together through all this. We all feel safe. We're doing a great job, and just hats off to them for giving us an awesome playground and for letting us rip these 1,000 horsepower cars that we worked so hard in the off season to put together. It'd be a total shame not to rip one for one season. So very thankful to Formula Drift.
Okay, Odie Bakchis, congratulations. We are going to look for Chelsea and for Vaughn Gittin Jr., our champion. Now again, we're making our way through the media scrum coming through here, and the RTR team is here celebrating. Chelsea Denofa, congratulations on second place. This has been an amazing season for you.
Yeah, it's been absolutely. It's had a couple ups and downs, but we've been putting it together for most of the time. The car's been amazing, and it's been me just kind of making some bonehead mistakes here and there. But tonight was good. The last few events have been rad. We've climbed some points, ended up second overall, and can't thank everybody enough.
Okay, so assessing your season, how do you clean up those bonehead mistakes and not make them next year?
You know, sometimes it's a balance of me driving the way I want and the way I need to. So, like, I just been getting a little bit better at that.
All right, Chelsea, thank you so much. We're going to go get Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn Gittin Jr., if you'll come on over here, celebrating his second championship. You have been waiting 10 years again for this moment. How sweet is this?
It's unbelievable. I thought it was unbelievable earlier, and then Chelsea goes and grabs second in the championship and finishes the event in second, and I'm just elated. You know, it was wild. You know, and like I'm not surprised in any way because our RTR team are just the hardest working, most passionate, high energy, positive vibe dudes ever, and when you can get that around you, it's hard to not be your best. And we were able to be our best almost all year this year, you know. And like everyone else, we had some ups and downs and overcame them. And of course, we're all battling this crazy thing that they're calling 2020. But I'm just so proud and grateful. And I hope that our fans, you know, enjoyed this year. You know, I know they couldn't be with us for most rounds and they were missed. But I hope that you know, I saw the live stream today, and it was so cool seeing everybody at home cheering and stuff. So I just want to thank you guys, thank Formula Drift, and thank you to my team and partners. This is just, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
Amazing. And I know someone else that's amazing, your wife, Abby, your son, Gunnar. They are your entire world. But how do you explain what this champion means to you? How do you explain to them?
Oh, it was so incredible. They had to leave, and we went over earlier and took a photo by the trophy. And Gunnar was just standing there by himself, and he had this big, giant trophy, and he's just like, trophy, and I'm just like, oh my God, like the best thing in my life ever right now. So it's incredible, and it's incredible to share with them. You know, Abby and I have been together now, I'm not even going to count, but we have our 10-year wedding anniversary next year. So we were together for my first championship, and you know, she's not coming to all the rounds right now because obviously other things going on, but it's incredible for her to be here. And Gunnar, you know, he just between rounds being with him, and it's incredible. It's just a different thing for me, a different point in my life. But this being on the track hasn't changed, and these challenges and what this sport does to you as a person. But having a family now and sharing that with them is just it's a whole nother level. So I love it. I love this. I love that. I love you. I love you. And love. Spread it more often, world.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to your 2020 Formula Drift champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Lorraine.
I thought is Ryan, your thoughts, 2020 season, man. I know I asked you a little bit ago, but bears repeating.
No, just to appreciate everybody that has been involved in the series, you know, from drivers and sponsors and all the media, all of our staff, and especially the fans that supported us along the way and gave us well wishes. I've spoken to so many fans in person and over email and through DMs, and they've just been so awesome. You know, I love the fans that follow the sport and that learn about it and understand how different this thing is. Yeah. And so I really appreciate you guys going on the ride with us. I'm glad we got to the end of it and we can focus our attention on 21 and hopefully kiss 2020 bye forever.
Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia, and bye, Formula Drift fans. On behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff, thank you to our new live stream team. I think you guys all appreciate it. Kemp and the whole gang down there in the booth, the unsung heroes behind the curtain. I think they did a great job. Only a few typos. Misspelled my name the first round. I'm joking, they didn't. But thank you so much. Thank you to all the fans. On behalf of Lorette Nickel, Brian Sage, our judges Chris Yule, Brian Egger, and Ryan Lontana, all our FD staff. And thank you so much. We'll see you guys in 21. Peace out from the House of Drift. Send it. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Formula Drift Nation.